9/30/21, dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time for Sports 56 Middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. The first hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by Action247.com. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I got a piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun. Warm up the Georgia pie. Feels so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good friends.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Time for a little Sports 56 Middays as we get you set for the sports weekend. Really got started last night. Quite the Thursday night game between two teams not expected to go far this year, but boy, oh boy, today provide some entertainment. Hope your Friday morning's off to a great start. You got Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Gabe Kuhn in the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. First hour of the program brought to you by Action 24/7. It's the Friday, September 17th, 2021 edition. And as always, we hope you will be a part of our program with any comments or questions or concerns you have by hitting us up on the AutoZone text line at 360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. On the program today, John Varlas will join us as he does every Friday at 11:05 to talk prep football. A couple of interesting results from last night and a very heavy schedule for this evening. Our friend Teresa Walker, the award-winning AP writer, covers the Tennessee Titans, will join us at 11:30. We'll get her thoughts on that poor performance in the opener against the Arizona Cardinals and what the expectations are for the Titans as they got another tough one coming up in week number 2. Are there issues with the Titans? And then at 12:05, our buddy Brad Logan, he will join us to continue our conversation, which we've had all week long, on Mississippi State and Memphis. We'll get the Mississippi State perspective from Brad as the Bulldogs roll into Memphis for their game with the Tigers tomorrow, kicking off at 3 o'clock. We got 10 in a row. That'll come your way at 12:30, the game show that has swept the nation. So all that coming up on the program today. Good morning, Eli.
Good morning.
So Monday, I checked the weather for the next few days, especially Saturday. That's when I'm concentrating on. And it looked great. Tuesday, same deal. Great. Wednesday looked fine. Yesterday, I see rain. Today, I see rain. And I look because I'm on the sideline and I want to know what to wear and how drenched am I going to get. But I thought it was going to be great weather, and now it may not be, which could affect this game on the field and could affect this game in the stands. How much effect do you think rain could have on this contest, especially for those people who want to go to the game, haven't purchased their tickets yet, would probably walk up and buy tickets, and now maybe not so much?
Yeah, I would. I mean, if it is raining or expected to rain during the game, then yeah, I would say that would greatly reduce your walk-up crowd. With tickets being $60 or whatever they are, $65 generally. People probably aren't going to walk up and buy those to go sit in the rain for 3 hours.
I saw a tweet just a moment ago from our friend Steven Johnson, who covers Memphis Tigers basketball for the Daily Memphian, formerly covered Memphis Tigers football. And he tweeted out, no reason the Liberty Bowl shouldn't be sold out tomorrow. But unfortunately, it's a built-in excuse or reason. Doesn't have to be an excuse. It's just a reason, it's raining. We don't want to sit out in the rain. It's unfortunate because this game will still have a lot of people there, but it could have been, and then, fingers crossed that maybe it still ends up being that way, but just a massive crowd for this game.
The my trusty Weather Channel app for the afternoon, it says scattered thunderstorms. So, that could be, you may get them, you may not get them.
May get lucky.
And so
right?
It was rain in the morning, in the afternoon is scattered thunderstorms. So that is not, hope they miss that area.
What's the percentage? What percentage do they give you?
Well, I mean, it's a chance of rain is 70% because, I mean, again, they're saying there is going to be rain in the morning.
And rain they play. Lightning, not so much. Then you have delays. Maybe this is going to be one of those ESPN win probability type deals when they're like 99.9% chance this team wins and they end up losing. So maybe a high percentage of rain and it ends up not coming our way. But again, if you got tickets, especially with the price for these tickets for the Mississippi State game, I'm sure most people are going to use them. Bring a rain jacket. Can't bring an umbrella inside, right?
I don't believe so. No, I don't think umbrellas are allowed.
And remember, Mississippi State fans, no cowbells. Although there will be ingenious ways of trying to sneak in cowbells, and maybe in bad weather, it might be a little bit easier for them. Maybe security won't be as thorough checking those folks out when they come into the gates. But again, tomorrow, don't let the rain dampen your spirits. Isaac Bruce will be there. He will be honored. He'll be signing autographs from 12 to 2, and then the Tigers with a chance to make some big noise. No, it's not a conference game, but anytime you're playing a school from the SEC or any Power 5 conference, you have a chance to win what is a big game. It would be one of your bigger wins in your school's history. I'm not saying this is a great Mississippi State team. They're not ranked. But anytime you win those type of games, and Memphis has won some, just not a ton of them, that's a feather in your cap. And Memphis is capable. And thus, the line has been hovering around 3.5. It's not some 15-point line. So we've talked a lot about it this week. Yesterday, we had the Tiger Football Report. Ryan Silverfield joined us. And we've broken it down every which way. If you want to talk about it, this first hour, we don't have the guests until hour number 2. You can call in on the AutoZone phone line at 360-8255, or again, hit us up on the AutoZone text line at 360-8255. Same number for both if you want to talk a little Tigers, Mississippi State. But again, we'll get more into it or back into it with Brad Logan when he joins us later on in the show.
Hopefully the rain will be done early in the morning. Won't interrupt tailgating. And then, again, there was scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon are not in the area of the Liberty Bowl. I'm looking forward to getting out there. I'm actually going to do a little tailgating tomorrow. I haven't done. It's been a while. Been a while since I've been able to do any, so I'm going to go out there and do a little tailgating tomorrow.
Rutrow, Savoy on the loose. Danger, Will Robinson.
If it's
If
it's raining, I probably won't. I'll be honest.
You're not going to come if it's raining? Come on.
I'll
Put a
come to the
slicker
game.
on.
I'm going to come to the game.
You won't do tailgating?
But I won't do. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time outside.
I don't know, beers and brats or beers and BBQ and beers and something good to eat. You shouldn't be deterred by the wetness. You should not.
I'll be honest, I generally don't eat at tailgates.
So, you do the drinking. You're liquid. You're on a liquid diet.
You could eliminate all the other stuff. You could just stop at the beer. The whatever else you want to throw in there. That's great if you want to have that. I'm not. I generally don't partake in that.
Dennis,
I don't have time to fill my stomach with food.
I hear you. Dennis Dodd from CBS Sports yesterday had a story about the American Conference and teams that they are targeting. Dennis Dodd, friend of the show. Gabe, I think you guys talked about it, right, when you were on with Brett? So they're looking at Boise State, which makes sense, and UAB. But they also said, or Dennis said in the story, according to his sources, San Diego State, Colorado State. Is there one more?
Air Force.
And Air Force.
So they're looking at the Mountain West mostly.
But are they looking at, how many schools are they looking at? Just is it
5 were being reported.
So they're looking to add 5, or
they're looking to add 4, but there are 5 that they're actually looking at hard.
Okay, so they're looking to add 4. So do the math. What would 4 give you? Right now you're at
12.
11.
It would give you 12.
Yeah, right now you're at 11. You would drop 3, go to 8, add 4 to get to 12. Man, I love what UAB has done to resurrect their program with that new stadium, which is not directly on campus, correct? I don't think it's on the campus of UAB. It's not far from it, if I'm not mistaken. But they've done a great job. Bill Clark's done a nice job. But to me, it brings back shades of the, like, you're small. For some reason, I think, oh, man, it's a step back. You know, after UAB, you're gonna bring back Marshall and Southern Miss eventually. And it just, I don't know. I don't get the good vibe from UAB. Obviously, Boise State. That is going to be the rope, the tug of war? That's what's going to be the pivotal part of the American and the Mountain West. Because whoever has Boise has the leg up. And right now, the Mountain West has Boise. And they're not about to give them up. Will the incentive from the American be enough to lure them to the American Conference? Or would the Mountain West still be strong enough where Craig Thompson just tells Boise State, look, I mean, what are you going to? Their TV contract is not going to be – it's going to go down. It's going to drop after losing the schools they lost.
See, that's – I don't – if I'm a Mountain West school, I mean, I just don't understand how going to the American is going to be good for them. Like,
right.
I'd be like,
that's what I'm asking.
Like, we could sit here right here at this conference. What's the difference? Like, going to join them, why is that different than this? I mean, again, you know, they obviously talk to the people and all that stuff, but that seems just from the outside like, why would you make that move if you're Boise? How much can that possibly gain? How do you gain out of that?
Gabe?
I would say, to be fair, with like UAB, no matter what, you just lost UCF, Houston, in Cincinnati. It's going to be a step back.
Yeah,
I understand what you're going to say, and I do agree with your geographically. It's going to be weird. A midweek game. Say you have a Thursday game where Temple has to travel to Fort Collins to play Colorado State. It's a big geographic region. Now, granted, the American already has a pretty wide region, but this makes it substantially wider.
If you're bringing in San Diego State, like if you're stretching from Temple to San Diego State,
doesn't it make more sense to have those two conferences merge? And in the end, the champion of the Mountain West plays the champion of the American, but they're combined, where most of the games that you play are within your region, but there are still going to be a couple of crossover games, which are now conference games, but they're crossovers as you combine the two. Wouldn't that be more advantageous? Wouldn't that be something that's interesting for a television network to have a nice contract with a league that big with interesting East Coast to West Coast transcontinental matchups, but not where it's crazy from an economic standpoint for each individual school? You know what I'm saying?
I don't like. But so you're saying basically have two conferences.
No,
and at the end play each other.
No, have one conference. No, not the way it is right now, but have one conference. But you play. Let's say you play 9 conference games. Right now, I don't know how many teams. How many teams are in the Mountain West?
I don't even know what's in the Mountain West.
Well, they got 12?
I think it may be 12. I don't know.
Okay, the American would be down to 8. So, is that correct? Yeah, they would be down to 8. You invite UAB. Go ahead.
Mountain West does have 12.
Okay, they have 12, right? So you bring UAB in, and you bring in maybe App State, Coastal Carolina. You get it to 12 in the American, have 12 in the Mountain West, but you combine the two, call it whatever the hell you want, have 24 schools, you play 9 conference games, you play 7 within that region. So basically Mountain West teams, the old Mountain West are playing the old Mountain West, American are playing the old American for 7, but then there's 2 each year crossovers, and then you change them with each year. So you get different teams different teams that you would not normally see. And in the end, the champion of each side plays in the conference championship game. I'm just thinking about this, just spitfiring here right off the top of my head.
How are you determining the champion of the conference? Like of each side.
I haven't thought that
like they haven't
thoroughly
even played.
about it.
They've only played 7 of 12 teams.
I don't know. Figure it out. All I'm saying is that it seems to me, like you said, there's no incentive for Boise State to leave to come to the American. The American adding, if they can't get any of those Mountain West teams to make it maybe more attractive across the country, getting some of these other schools like UAB, even App State, Coastal Carolina, whose football right now is really, really good, is still not going to, I think, move the meter from a television contract with a network. But I think putting these together makes it at least interesting. Gabe, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say, if you're the American, the Mountain West is the natural conference that you would want teams from. They have the biggest markets. They have the best teams. But it's just, you talk about 24 teams. Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
My issue with that is 24 teams, you'd have to have near a playoff football-wise to your own playoff to find a champion. So I just, the 24-team type of merger, that just seems a little much for me.
That conference would actually literally span almost half the globe.
Right. With Hawaii involved. I mean, the SEC is going to have 16. I know it's not 24, but they're going to have 16 teams. It's still not hard to figure out who's going to play in a championship game.
Because they have divisions, and they're able to play all the teams within their division.
Well,
so
you can break down into divisions, but I'm just saying to take your strengths and let the other conference take their strengths and combine them, and maybe it's more attractive to a television network suitor. Maybe not. I just don't know how the addition of – no, look, you get Boise State, that's a different ballgame. If you can get Boise State and San Diego State and one of the others and UAB, okay, all right. And now it's a different story. But like you said, what's the incentive for Boise State to leave with a couple other schools, because all they're going to be doing is going to the East Coast, right down to Florida. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of expense. So I'm just kind of thinking outside the box as a possibility. But anyway, that's Dennis Dodd's story about the American Conference and teams that they may be targeting. But in the meantime, you still wonder about the stories that have been out there for the future of the Big 12 and whether or not they will expand once again, once Texas and Oklahoma leave. So we'll see what happens with that. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Thursday night game, kicking off week 2 of the NFL season. What a crazy game that was last night. And the Blue Ribbon College Basketball Yearbook has its preseason top 25 out. We'll tell you if Memphis is in there. You would imagine they are. Also Tennessee and some other local schools, the preseason top 25 from the Blue Ribbon College Yearbook. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084 or check them out online at newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing with different plans and options to suit your budget, including a 6, 12, or even an 18-month same as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll work out of pocket, whatever it takes. Pinnacle is part of the Roofs for Troops program. Any veteran, active or retired, you get a $250 rebate on the purchase of a new roof. Pinnacle does both residential and commercial roofing. So business owners and property managers out there, if you have a leak or any other roofing problem, this goes for homeowners as well. Just call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You get a 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof, and all their work is satisfaction guaranteed. They do carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, install shingles, put up fencing, siding, rotten wood repair. Whatever you can't do yourself, call Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. They'll get it done for you. Quality work at a very reasonable price. Locally owned and operated, it's Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Give Brandon a call today. Tell him I sent you. 901-438-5084 or online at newroofmemphis.com. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wallow said hello.
Are you ready to trade up to a Kia sales event and get our best deal of the year? Well, we gossip and gossip Kia on Covington Pike. So get ready and take your pick from 2022 Kia Soul, 2021 Kia Forte, and 2021 Kia Rio. We got them all at just $248 a month. Yeah, you heard me right, Mid-South. Soul, Forte, Rio, 3 is your charm, and take your pick. Just $248 a month. Plus, with every new gossip Kia, you'll find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So trade up and get top dollar at Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
72 months at 2.9 APR, $29.99 down. Sold in 716, 1784. MSRP 20,500. Forte ME 402,825. MSRP 20,055. Rio ME 427,894. MSRP 19,755. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Must finance through Kia on low APR. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
Hey everybody, it's Rick Earwood, and you know in my day I've bought several homes, and nothing can be more overwhelming and time-consuming than trying to secure financing. Let me steer you in the direction of Tommy Cotham at Bartlett Mortgage, a guy that's been originating loans for 25 years in the greater Memphis area. Tommy does all products, conventional, FHA, USDA, VA. Maybe you're wanting to stay in your home now and just refinance. He can do that as well. So hey, go ahead, give Tommy a call at 901-335-7308. Get your pre-approval so you'll know what you can spend, find your home, and then pack your boxes and get ready to move. It's that easy with Tommy Cotham at Bartlett Mortgage. Call him today at 901-335-7308. Once again, that number, 901-335-7308. Tell him Rick told you to call.
5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5 Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5 Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5 Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5 Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5 Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby. at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show. Right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by Action247.com. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Working part-time in a 5 and dime. My boss was Mr. McGee. He told me several
Couple of
times
texts on the AutoZone text line. John says if you do a 2014 conference, the conference basketball tournament will go on forever.
Well, you don't have everybody qualify. Everybody's not in the tournament.
How many are you taking?
I don't know.
How are you determining?
I haven't thoroughly thought about this. All I know is that I think maybe combining the two forces would make them a little bit more valuable than being separate. Because I don't think there's any way in heck right now the American Conference, with what they have left, can convince Boise State to join them.
Another text here, the AutoZone text line. It says, I'm always amazed at the members of the media criticizing fans for not going to games because of weather or parking issues. When was the last time you bought a ticket or paid for parking or sat in the rain to watch a game? Listen, I will not be critical of anybody not going to the game. I think it's great if you do go to the game, but if it's raining and you don't want to go, by all means, that is your choice.
That is your prerogative. I can tell you this. If I purchased a ticket, I would be in the stands. I have sat through rain. I have sat through lightning delays where just watching a game. I have been in the cold, the ice cold, watching a game. Now, most of the time lately, I've been in the press box, but now working the sidelines for my third year, I'll be down there in the rain on the broadcast of the game. So, but again, look, if I had my choice and it was like I'm going to walk up and buy a ticket on Saturday, or if it's raining, or kick it at home, I mean, I'm probably going to kick it at home. So, yeah, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying if you've bought the tickets, put on a slicker, go out there and support your team if you can. Again, your choice.
Last time I tried to sit through the rain to watch a game was a Cubs game a few years ago, and it was like 45 degrees, and I lasted 5 innings, and I left early.
A couple of texts. Warren hits us up, said, when we were talking about the cowbell to start the show and the rain that's in the forecast, the cowbells, when did that ever stop Mississippi State fans from bringing in cowbells? No, nothing will deter them. There will be an attempt. And it does
They're just supposed to be confiscated if they do have them in their ring. They're supposed to be confiscated.
Right. Even if they're in the stands, they got it through somehow security, and they're in the stands ringing them. They're supposed to be confiscated. But wherever Mississippi State plays, you always hear a cowbell. You always hear either the faint noise of a cowbell or what have you. They somehow are able to find a way. And John hits us up, says, how many Bulldog fans have the cowbell ringtone on their phones?
Yeah, I saw some things on social media about people talking about you could do some stuff with your phone to create the sound, and I don't know if there's like an app of a cowbell. I don't know, but that there were some mischievous fans out there thinking of ways they could get around it and get the sound without the actual cowbell needing to be in attendance. So I don't know where they stand on that, but there are creative people out there, and we've got phones, and everybody could find a way.
If there's a will, there's a way.
If it's raining, they may not want to get their phone out in the rain. I don't know.
Right.
We'll have to see. Somebody we got a text. Somebody said that rain will be devastating. I think it would cut the attendance down to 38,000 instead of 52,000. I don't think they're getting 52,000.
That's fairly precise.
I don't believe they're getting 52,000 if it's a beautiful day.
They'd be somewhere in the lower 40s to maybe mid 40s on a real beautiful day. But this person thinks 52, 38, so they would lose 14,000 because of the rain. We'll see. So last night, Thursday Night Football. It was interesting. Yesterday, you were giving us a preview of Thursday games to come. And on paper, the schedule did not look good. A lot of bad teams playing on Thursday night. Last night, 2 bad teams playing on Thursday night, and they gave us quite an entertaining game. Last Thursday, to kick off the season, you had Tampa Bay, the defending champions, and the Cowboys. Great Thursday night game. So maybe this is a sign of things to come. Every Thursday night is going to be this great game. Comes down to the wire, and the Washington football team beats the Giants 30-29. The Giants had 70,000 different ways to win this game and somehow figured out a way to lose the game. Taylor Heineke was really good with the exception of the interception late in that game, which nearly cost them, but it ended up not costing them. Daniel Jones, and I know the jury's still out on him. He's not a great quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. I thought he played really, really well last night. And then you see the sideline shot of Kenny Golladay reading him the riot act, probably because he didn't get enough targets. I don't know exactly what it was. Jones looked befuddled. This loss was not on Daniel Jones. Not even close.
Well, they certainly had plenty of opportunities to win the game, even to the point of just don't jump off sides on the first field goal attempt. But Dexter Lawrence couldn't pull that off either. Jones ran the ball really well, made some really good throws. They made a big deal about the Darius Slayton drop in the end zone, and yes, I guess you classify that as a drop, but that was not a very good throw. I mean, that throw could be a heck of a lot better to a guy running wide open.
Okay, wait a minute now. No. Was it a perfect throw? No. He is a professional wide receiver. You catch that ball.
He's also a professional quarterback. Put it on him better.
It wasn't
when he's wide
that
open,
bad.
when there's not a defender within 20 yards of him.
It wasn't that bad a throw. You make it sound like it was 8 feet over his head. He dropped it.
It was on his fingertips. It was on his very fingertips.
Gabe, was that Daniel Jones' fault or was that Darius Slayton's fault?
I think you could blame it on both, but I'd put it on Darius Slayton. That was a drop. That wasn't that was a catchable ball.
Again, I said that from the beginning. You classify it as a drop. That throw should be better.
Every throw is not going to be absolute precise between the numbers.
When you have a guy in the NFL that's open by 20 yards.
He chucked it, whatever it was in the air.
When you have a guy open by 20 yards, you make sure you put it on him.
BS. That's Slayton. Sorry, that's Slayton's fault.
It was definitely on him enough for that play to be made.
You got to make that catch. Then Jones has the run earlier in the game with. Would you have called that holding penalty if you were out there in pinstripes?
No, I didn't really see why that's a hold. But that if that's a hold, there's
Stripes,
a whole bunch of holds in the NFL.
Exactly.
That should be called on guys on the outside.
So that was a bad call. They had a chance to have a touchdown there, chance to have a touchdown with Slayton, the offsides by Lawrence. They blew it. Washington's defense, which is supposed to be great, was not great. They got lucky. They won that game. Luckily for them, they have a field goal kicker who is on fire. 35 straight field goals for Graham Gano. And then Ricky Seals-Jones. What? First catch with the team. Unbelievable catch in the back of the end zone. So it was a fun game to watch. That's the first time Jones has lost as the starting quarterback for the Giants versus the football team. He's now 4-1. And that snapped a 5-game winning streak for the Giants. I loved the Washington football team coming into the game because I thought their defense would do it. And I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger on this one because I had to give, I think it was 3.5. They ended up only winning by 1, but they won. They got it done. But it was crazy. But I'm still scratching my head over, and these things happen with Galladay and Daniel Jones and the barking from Galladay on the sidelines. It happens all the time. You get frustrated, but this is not. I don't think you look at this game and go, "Oh yeah, if they had a quarterback, Daniel Jones was bad." Daniel Jones was really, really good. They get nothing from the running game other than him. I don't know what's Saquon Barkley's still hurt. He does not look like the guy that came into the NFL from Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not. You could tell he is definitely not back to 100%. And there is, who knows how long it will take to get back to that point for him. But yeah, I mean, it appears they're kind of trying to ease him back a little bit. But no, he is nowhere near what he was his rookie year.
And to be fair, the other he has a bad O-line, first of all. And the injury last night to Nick Gates, praying for him, that looked absolutely horrible.
Right.
But he's got a bad O-line, and teams are keying on him when he's on the field. And I think that's the reason Daniel Jones was able to run the ball so well, is because of those read options. They were crashing to go tackle Saquon Barkley every single time, so Daniel Jones was wide open for the keeper.
Yeah, and heck, I mean, Jones looked like Cam Newton out there. I mean, he was just, but when he does, yeah, there's no doubt when he kept it some of those times, like there's just nobody paying any attention whatsoever because they are definitely worried about Barkley. You mentioned Graham Gano. Dude, that dude is, you talk about automatic. My gosh, every kick is like right down the middle. Right? There isn't, as soon as it leaves the foot, there is no doubt that it is good. He's not sneaking him inside the upright. It absolutely splits it right down the middle, it seems like, on every single kick.
Groove is in the heart. The guy is on fire right now. Absolutely on fire, and that's a good thing. But the defense was not good. And I expect if Washington is going to win some games and challenge in the NFC East, that they're going to have to do it with their defense. And last night was not a good effort. So they survived that one. They survived. But it was fun to watch. I mean, all the way down to the final seconds of that game, it had a little bit of everything. It also had the announcers and probably all of us watching scratching our head with some of those calls that were made and then looked at on replay and not reversed. Some of those calls.
Well, the one run where he tripped and
was never touched.
There wasn't anybody that you could have possibly looked at and said, "Oh, maybe that guy got a fingertip on him, so we're not going to overturn." Like, it was obvious. Like, there was nobody anywhere near him for the. It's like I don't know how you don't say that's a first down. He clearly tripped on his own. He hit the ground. He bounced forward. He got across the first down line before anybody came up and touched him. I don't understand how you say that call stands the way it was on the field.
Yeah, and they go, of course, the broadcast team goes to Pereira, and he says, yeah, this is – I'm dumbfounded. I don't know how –
It was like – I mean, just the assumption, as soon as they showed the first replay, I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, obviously this is going to be a first down because there's nobody near him. Clearly nobody touched him. And then the guy comes out, call stands. What in the world's going on?
Well, that's what drives everybody crazy about replay. There are some people that don't like replay at all. They wouldn't mind just keeping the human element in it. Well, we still have the human element because you have idiots who are looking at the same thing we're all looking at and coming to a different conclusion. I don't get it. Are they protecting the official's first call? They don't want to make them look bad because they're going to reverse the call on. No, I mean, you have to get it right. That's why we have this technology of instant replay. Get the damn call right. It's just mind-boggling how it always seems to happen, that they're seeing something differently than we're all seeing. I mean, there are some that are really, really close, and you think maybe they're going to change it. Maybe they won't. Okay, maybe they did see it differently than us, and that's fine. This one was a slam dunk. This one was about as easy as it could be, and they still screwed it up.
Yeah, I don't. And then, like, when he just says it stands, like, I'd just like to know the explanation of, like, why? Why is that call standing? Because what did you see underneath that hood that would possibly lead you to, yep, that call's we're just gonna keep that one right where it is because we don't need to change it. This hour of the program is brought to you by Action 24/7, the local sports book here in the state of Tennessee, owned and operated by Tennesseans. And one of the great things about that is they like to get out within the state and within our area, giving out, meeting people, giving out free bets, and heck, even some free beers as well. They will be here in town this weekend once again. They will be at Rail Garden from noon till 8 Saturday and 11:30 to 5:30 on Sunday. They'll be at Newbies from 1 to 6 Saturday and noon to 5 on Sunday. They'll be at the Slider Inn tomorrow from noon until 5. They're going to be at Brewski's tomorrow night from 6 until 10. So some opportunities to go out and meet some folks from Action 24/7, pick up some free bets, and get you a free beer as well at those local spots. And, of course, they're also just giving away free money for new users with Action 24/7 when you sign up. Use the promo code WHBQ100. They match your initial deposit 100% up to $400. Plus, right now, bet $5 on any NFL game, bet $5 on any college game, and you're going to win $150 if there's a touchdown scored in the game. That's for new users as they just continue to give you free money to get you started with Action 24/7.
All right, college basketball talk when we come back. The Blue Ribbon College Basketball Yearbook preseason top 25 is out. We'll tell you where the Tigers land when we return. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Get your day off to a great start with Peter Edmonston and Anthony Sane on Sports 56 mornings. Weekdays from 7 to 10 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. Hurricane season is upon us. Is your roof ready? Are your shingles laying down and sealed properly? Call me right now, 867-0303. They say you get what you pay for. That's why my opinion is free. Maybe you've got years of life left in your roof. If so, I'll tell you that. But if I find storm damage or a compromised roof system, I'll lay out some options for you. Don't let them tell you it needs to be replaced if it only needs a repair. Call me, 867-0303. Has your insurance company already seen it and rejected your claim? Maybe they're correct. Most of the time, they're not. They do tend to become more reasonable once I get involved, though. 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
It's hot outside and your air conditioner just quit. Quick, who do you call? Automatic Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing, of course, with 24-hour emergency service available. Automatic understands your house is unique, so they work fast to find the right solution for your family's comfort and budget needs. And with financing available and payments as low as $75 a month, it's never been easier to make your home comfortable. Call 363-4636 or go online to itsautomatic.com. Turn to the experts at Automatic Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, I started the first micro distillery in the state of Texas with my dog, Dog Joe, at my side. We're still working with dogs out at the distillery after all these years. Learn more about how dogs are a part of life here at Tito's Handmade Vodka at vodkafordogpeople.com. Tito's Handmade Vodka is made from corn and naturally gluten-free. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Taqueria Express has a new location at 6290 Winchester with family deals every day. Mouth-watering chicken tacos, only 99 cents. 3 tacos with rice, beans, and fresh guacamole, only $6. And incredible signature dishes with chicken or beef chimichangas and homemade tortillas stuffed with fresh beans, rice, and cheese on top. If you're hungry, try Taqueria Express's gigantic Macho Burrito. Homemade with fresh flour tortilla, and you choose beef, chicken, pork, or shrimp. Includes beans, rice, melted cheese, lettuce, tomato, and sour cream. Fajita fans try Taqueria's delicious chicken or steak fajitas. Big enough for 2 people and only $10. If you're thirsty and want something unique, then try Taqueria drinks made from scratch, like melon and pineapple. Margaritas are buy one, get one free, and they got a little kick to them. For real Mexican food, Taqueria Express, 6290 Winchester. We'll see you guys there, and don't forget those strong margaritas. Buy one, get one free.
Barks now offers you just about everything you need for your furry family member. Daycare, luxury boarding, award-winning grooming, veterinary checkups, diagnostic services including digital x-ray, fluoroscopy and ultrasound, complete dental service, vaccinations, preventative care for fleas, ticks, and heartworms, and just about any needed surgical treatment. And did I mention that we treat cats and all types of exotic pets? We are the newest member of the Barks family and the newest, most high-tech veterinary hospital in the Mid-South. Located directly across the street from Barks and Recreation, we are a full-service hospital with a fantastic, experienced staff. If you're having problems getting a timely appointment at your current vet's facility, we are here to serve you. Call us at 901-979-8888. Barks and Medication. Excellence in veterinary care.
Like a coin in your mint, I am dented.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by Action247.com. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Take me to the pilot for control. Take me to the pilot of your soul.
All right, got a little college basketball to talk about, but first, those who thought Will Fuller would be available Sunday for the Dolphins, not so fast, my friends. Will Fuller will not practice today, according to Joe Shad, will not play Sunday due to a personal issue. Brian Flores says Flores declined to say if he believes Fuller will return to the team this season.
Yeah, we were talking with Sigmund Bloom about him on Wednesday. Well, I thought maybe this would be the 1 week you could use him while he's healthy. Well, apparently, don't know if we'll be able to use him at all this year.
Also, the announcement yesterday that Hard Knocks, for the first time ever, will do an in-season series, and the subject will be the Indianapolis Colts. We all love Hard Knocks. This will be interesting. In-season, real games, real personal issues. Hard Knocks in season with the Colts. All right, so the Blue Ribbon College Basketball Yearbook, which has been around forever, has released its preseason top 25 college basketball poll. Number 1, Gonzaga. No surprise. Number 2, UCLA. Number 3, Kansas. Number 4, Texas. Number 5, Villanova. Number 6, Michigan. Number 7, Kentucky. Number 8, Duke. Number 9, Purdue. Who's missing? Number 10, Tennessee. Number 11, Memphis. Then you have Arkansas, 13th. Alabama, 15th. Houston, 17th. Auburn, 22nd. And Mississippi State, 24th. So you talk about some local and regional powers this year, or at least on paper, for the college basketball season. Just about everybody that we follow, Ole Miss and Mississippi State and Tennessee and Arkansas and, of course, Memphis, strong. But the Tigers 1 slot behind the Tennessee Vols.
Interesting. I would have them higher, but certainly I respect the folks over at the Blue Ribbon Yearbook.
You expect Memphis to be somewhere around, 7 or 8 when the AP preseason top 25 comes out?
Yeah, I would think they'll be in the 6 to 10 range.
So who do you think of those that the Blue Ribbon has in front of them should Memphis be in front of? Gonzaga, you would say no, right?
Gonzaga will clearly be number 1.
Yeah, and UCLA will probably be 2.
Yes.
Do you think Memphis should be ahead of Kansas?
I'd have to look at. I haven't done a whole lot of looking at all these rosters,
right?
So I don't. I'm to tell you who they should or shouldn't be. I don't know for sure exactly all Kansas has back.
Right, but for them to be in that range, they have to leapfrog some of these teams. Texas is 4th, Villanova's 5th, Michigan I would think would be right there. Kentucky's interesting. All the talent in the world as they always have. Duke, I love their young players. Do they have enough good veteran players for that mix? I don't know a lot about Purdue. I guess Jerry can tell us, Jerry Palm. But one thing I really love about the Tigers, and this is the same for Tennessee, is that they have the combination of veteran players and young players. This isn't that Memphis team where we said there's no veterans. They don't know the college game yet. How are they going to? Well, now there are. It's a great mixture. It's a perfect mixture. But Tennessee also has that as well, especially with what's his name coming back? John
Fulkerson.
Fulkerson.
Tennessee being ahead of Memphis shocks me.
Really?
Yeah. with what they lost from last year, I don't. That surprises me a lot.
Well,
I don't think Tennessee will be ahead of Memphis in any polls.
You have Chandler Kennedy, and Kennedy, like I said, they have Kennedy Chandler.
They might have a Chandler Kennedy too. I don't know. I don't know if there's a Chandler Kennedy out there or not. But
I knew when I said it didn't sound right. Kennedy Chandler is a true point guard. Now again, he'll be a freshman. Imani Bates, not a true point guard, is also a freshman, learning the position, but will be in that position. So for the start of the season, to have a guy who's played that position and has played it at a very high level, I think helps Tennessee immensely, unless, of course, he flops, which I don't think he will flop. I think Kennedy Chandler will be really, really good. And they have that mix, again, of young players and veterans. But, yeah, you can make that argument.
They lost 2 first-round draft picks and the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. That's a lot to lose.
They lost a couple of years ago, 3 years ago when they lost 3 guys to the NBA. Admiral Schofield and those guys, they lost those guys, and they bounced back that next year. So Rick Barnes is, every year, he's recruiting at a high level for Tennessee. Let's not forget about this guy. He's an X's and O's coach, but, man, he can recruit. You got to give respect where respect is due. And Rick Barnes has done it for years and years and years and years. And he is an obstacle on the Memphis schedule. And that game at Bridgestone is going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. I can't even imagine how many scouts are going to be there to watch that matchup. It is going to be a fun basketball season. No question about it. Coming up in hour number 2 of the program, John Varlas will join us at 11:05 to talk some prep football. If there is a game that you are interested in, a team that you are interested in, hit us up. John will talk about it. AutoZone text line 360-8255 as we talk prep football with John Varlas. At 11:30, we'll turn our attention to the Tennessee Titans and the National Football League with Teresa Walker. At 12:05, right back into the Memphis-Mississippi State conversation with Brad Logan. Get the state perspective. And then at 12:30, we'll play 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. You're listening to Sports 56 Middays on this Friday morning right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios. Grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers. Everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I, live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/free. How much? Free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together, so the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
Hey, Jeff Allen, I hear that 3's a charm at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah, so I'm ready to trade up to a Kia sales event with you, my man.
That's right, Randy. 3 rides, all just $248 a month. Take your pick from a 2022 Kia Soul LX, 2021 Kia Forte LXS, or a 2021 Kia Rio LXS. Your choice, $248 a month.
And Soul, longer, better warranty than Honda or Nissan. Forte, more passenger volume and thousands less than Honda Civic. And Rio, higher MPG and thousands less than Corolla. Plus, you'll get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty program.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
All 72 months at 2.9 APR, $29.99 down. Sold in 716-1784, MSRP $20,500. Forte ME 402-825, MSRP $20,055. Rio ME 427-894, MSRP $19,755. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF $695. Must finance through Kia on low APR. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to Presbyterian Church for Worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back to Middays on this fabulous Friday, September 17th, 2021. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Gabe Kuhn in the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Later in the hour, Teresa Walker will join us to talk some Titans and NFL. We got Brad Logan on the Mississippi State Memphis Tigers clash tomorrow at Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. That will come your way at 12:05, 10 in a row at 12:30. But it's Friday. It's the high school football season. We're right in the midst of it, and you know what that means. It's time for John Varlas.
It's time to talk some high school sports on Sports 56 Middays. Joining Greg and Eli is John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. Check out John's prep coverage at dailymemphian.com. Now, here's John with Greg and Eli.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
We appreciate you listening to us, whether it be on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, or 98.5 FM. Also, you may be watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and at sports56whbq.com. He's almost unrecognizable. That is John Varlas. Wave to everybody, John. He continues to turn into an Adonis. How much weight have you lost now?
more like Adrian Adonis. You remember him from?
Yes, I do.
With Jesse Ventura. I mean, he really porked up at some point late.
Well, you're going the opposite way.
Yeah, but yeah.
How much weight now?
55.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
55 pounds, man. That's incredible.
Yeah, we still got a ways to go, but yeah, we're getting after it every morning, working hard. I am incredibly sore. I mean, I honestly felt like I was gonna die today. I didn't. Thankfully, I'm still here. But yeah, we're getting after it.
Well, that answers the question. But I was going to say, does it get easier as you go along here?
No, I get really frustrated. And I was talking to Coach Shabazz, Raheem Shabazz, who is kind enough to train me every morning. And I was talking with him today. I'm like, some days you go in there, you feel really, really strong. You feel like you can just do anything and just really impressed with yourself. But then there's days like today where I just feel really weak. And the key is just not to get frustrated and just to keep
you have to fight through it.
Yeah, press forward. And anybody that's worked out knows there's going to be good days and bad days.
Well, I'm glad you didn't die, because we'd have to fill 25 minutes without you. That'd be the sad part is the show. We obviously no. I'm kidding, of course. Last night, so the week got underway with some interesting results. You had two teams that were off to great starts in Maz and Mitchell. And it was Maz taking care of business.
I continue to be super, super impressed with Maz. This was their first big test of the year, and I think they passed it with mostly flying colors. They got off to a bit of a slow start. The first quarter between those two teams, I said on Twitter, was like two brontosauruses, kind of close dancing with one another. I mean, the first quarter was just a slog. But things opened up after that, and it turned into a pretty good game. Cameron Miller, who's committed to UT, I know the UT fans listening will want to know that Cam had a great game. He scored 2 touchdowns. One was an 80-yard run on the first play of the second half that kind of broke things open a little bit. And then, a kid named Jalen Dale, who is, one of these kids that I like to call unknown soldiers. They didn't get to play last year, but they're, extremely good players. They're Division I quality. And Jalen is, right up there with the best of those guys who, doesn't have a lot of college attention yet, but really, really should. He had 2 touchdowns as well. He had a touchdown catch on a really pretty ball from Demetrius Visor. And then he had a long pick 6 that, that really kind of put the icing on the cake for Maz. So yeah, just continue to be super impressed with those guys. I think this is clearly the best team Coach Miller's had over there. How far they will go is to be seen, to still be determined. But, they've got several. I mean, they've just got a bunch of dudes over there, Miller, Dale, Charles Perkins, who we've talked about. Visor is a veteran quarterback. Kamaro Brown, a running back, a freshman, is really good. The offensive line is huge, especially for a 2A school. I mean, they've got giants up front. So, I mean, it's just a really good team. No real weaknesses, really well coached. And I'm excited to see, what it's going to be like for them going forward.
And then one other game from last night before we jump into tonight's schedule. I know you tweeted about Fairleigh.
Well,
where have they come from? 5-0 now.
And Fairleigh and Maz are going to have to cross paths at some point later in the season. Fairleigh's playing some really, really good ball as well with guys like Malik Mason, Gabe Gaines, the quarterback Nellie Price had another really good game yesterday. And yeah, and they're doing it with defense. They gave up 6 points in their season opener, and since then they've posted 4 consecutive shutouts. I really need to get out there and talk to those guys and do a story on those guys and just try to figure out what's going on out there in South Memphis. What's in the water, because they're playing some really, really good football. And they're on a collision course. Those two are in the same region, and they're going to meet at some point. Well, they will meet. It's on the schedule. I just don't know when. So,
anything from last week that stood out to you?
Well, I was kind of surprised at how easily Lausanne handled Bartlett. To be honest with you,
I was surprised by that too.
I mean, that game was over in the first quarter. Just a really impressive performance from Lausanne. They went out there. They dominated the line of scrimmage. They opened some good holes for Craig Cunningham. He had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Brock Glenn didn't really have to do much, but what he did was extremely effective. Defensively, they shut down Bartlett, pretty much from start to finish. So, yeah, I was, surprised at how easily Lausanne got the job done last week. And they've got a tough challenge ahead of them this week with Hernando and a really good quarterback down at Hernando and Zach Wilkie, who is headed to Southern Miss. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fare against a 6A Mississippi school.
And Eddie George was at that game, was he not? The Bartlett-Lausanne game?
Yeah, I saw Coach George. I didn't get to meet him personally. If I'd have known he was there, I would have wandered over there and said, "Hey, Coach, I'm an Adonis. Check me out."
How good is the Cunningham kid?
Cunningham's good. He's another one without any offers. Now, of course, Lausanne did play last year, but they played a limited schedule. Cunningham's good. He's not Eric Gray, obviously, but who is. But he's fast. He's strong. He's tough. He's a smart runner. He knows how to use his blocks, and he can turn it up and get get the tough yards in, and he has some good breakaway speed. So yeah, I like Cunningham a lot. I certainly think he's going to be in the conversation for Mr. Football in that division.
Do you know how many games Eddie George and Dion went to by chance? I know Dion was out at Christian Brothers once the power went out, but so he didn't get to see anything out there. But do you
we'll
have any
leave the
idea
light on.
how many games they were able to get to?
Apparently not.
Sanders was also at the Collierville game, and I'm struggling to think of who Collierville played. Oh, they played Center Hill last week. I think Sanders was at the Collierville game too, was he not? Maybe somebody
not sure.
can text us on that. And yeah, I don't know, honestly, Eli. I can't keep up with those guys.
All right, so some of the games tonight, Region 8 6A, you have Houston and Whitehaven. It's weird to see Whitehaven 2-2. Houston's 3-1. I don't know how good they are, but the record would indicate they're pretty good.
First time since 2005, potentially Whitehaven could lose 3 games in a row. So that tells you the excellence that program has had, over the last, 15 or 16 years or so. And you don't want to talk about must-win situations, but this is a pretty important game for Whitehaven because they lost their region opener to Germantown a couple of weeks ago. And you don't want to fall to 0-2 in that region. It's, if you start 0-2 in that region with the, tough a competition as it is, and the way some of these teams are looking, particularly Collierville that has kind of come out of nowhere and looks like a really, really good team, it's going to be hard to dig yourself out of an 0-2 hole and get back into the playoff picture. So very, very important game tonight for Whitehaven. Houston, yeah, I mean, they've played decent competition. And they're so talented offensively. I have confidence that Houston can put points up on pretty much anybody. So it's really going to be strength against strength tonight. A good Houston offense against a good Whitehaven defense. But yeah, that's a really big game for Whitehaven, and it's at home. It's at Whitehaven, so they have that going for them.
Got a text that says, that Dion definitely was at the Collierville game as well last week. Germantown and Bartlett. You mentioned Bartlett handled easily last week by Lausanne. Germantown, of course, off to that great start, already has that win over Whitehaven. What do you think about Germantown and Bartlett?
Well, that's going to be, that's, again, Region 8 6A, the SEC of local football there. Good matchup. I like what, Germantown's doing, obviously, with their run game. They're playing smash mouth football, nice and physical, and they're rotating the backs in and out, keeping everybody fresh. It's going to be interesting to see how Bartlett rebounds because, honestly, Eli, there was a point in that game last week against Lausanne where they kind of just, recognized that, hey, it just wasn't going to be their night, and they, just kind of shut things down, honestly, put a lot of subs in there, and the second half really was, kind of extended garbage time. I don't want to use that word, but that, that's the terminology. It was, extended garbage time in the second half. So, they kind of, it's going to, can they flush that and get back to focusing on playing good region football? Hopefully they can, but this Germantown team is really, really good. I've got all the confidence in the world in Coach Robinson and of course, Coach Harmon, the defensive coordinator, and, some of the guys we've talked about over there, Malik Young, the quarterback, Cody Jones, who's going to Michigan, Marion Claybrooks, all those good guys they have over there. Just a really talented team of really talented group of football players.
Region 8 5A, Central, off to a great start. How good is Central, and what will be the challenges tonight going to Brighton?
Well, I think we'll learn a lot about how good Central is after tonight. Brighton is a really good team with, the second best offense in town behind Covington. Really explosive team with Nick Harville at quarterback and, of course, Braxton Sharp, toting the mail for those guys. I think we're going to really, find out a lot about Central. It's going to be a good test. It's going to be a tough atmosphere going to Brighton, but Central has some dudes. Jamarius Brooks is a terrific running back. They've got speed at the skill positions. Quincy Briggs is one of our best receivers, and I think Coach Wright's son, Law Wright, is really starting to come into his own in the quarterback position. And as long as we're on the subject, shout out to Law for winning the district golf championship the other day. Sank a nice birdie putt on his final hole too. To seal it. So, these quarterbacks, they also know how to play golf, and it's even filtering down to the high school level.
For Pops, and I know Pops obviously loves football and is a great coach, but I would steer my son toward the golf world a little bit more because, wow, if you become a really good golfer and you can make it big, what a life you could have.
Well, he went around the course at Oracle at 75. That's a pretty good score. So yeah.
Gosh, I wish I could shoot 75.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Division II AAA. You'll be over at Tom Nick Stadium tonight. I'll be over there. Christian Brothers and Briarcrest, and of course Briarcrest off to a great start. Already got the win over Brentwood in region play, and Christian Brothers losing to Ensworth in their region opener. So this becomes a massive game for Christian Brothers to really kind of a must-win in region play, or you're 2 games behind Briarcrest and in a bad spot.
Yeah, one of the more pleasant surprises so far is definitely Briarcrest. I thought with Michael Dallas graduating and considering how productive he was for them last year, I thought maybe it might be a bit of a struggle, bit of a adjustment period, but this J.D. Sherrod kid who transferred in from Florida, he stepped right in, and it looks like just based on statistically that he's been able to replicate a lot of the the same kind of success that Michael had running and passing. They're getting good balance from both sides of their offense. I like too, Eli, the fact that they're big and physical up front. They're not as big, of course, as Christian Brothers, but I think they can match those guys up front with physicality. And I think it's going to be a really good hard-nosed football game. It's going to be a interesting challenge to see who comes out on top, honestly, because like you say, Christian Brothers is kind of up against it already, but it seems like they've gotten Dallin Hayden going a little bit, which is great. Dallin's, arguably the best running back in the state, and, they need to get him going and ride him as much as they can. So I'm really curious to see how this one's going to play out. Hope we get some good weather over there too.
Yeah, last week they actually had two touchdown passes, 2 fairly decent touchdown passes, and that was good to see. That if they can get the passing game going a little bit with the to keep teams honest, so they can't just focus on Dallin Hayden. That certainly is good. And Jackson Hammond, who is a kid that they plan on being that playmaker for them on the outside. They've gotten healthy in their secondary, so he doesn't have to play defense. And Thomas McDaniel said last week he can now focus on offense and hopefully be the guy we think he could be. And he had 2 touchdown catches and also drew a pass interference on another deep ball. So he certainly could make a big impact offensively. If they can get that going, that will be a big help.
Well, Jackson is one of those track guys, Eli, who's got some tremendous speed.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of got a little bit of a Calvin Austin in him. He's not big, but he's extremely fast, and yeah, he's got the potential to make plays for him. Is Struther back at quarterback too, by the way?
I think McLaughlin will be back there.
McLaughlin, okay.
Another interesting game in that division, Division II AAA, is MUS. They have to travel to Nashville to take on Ensworth. Both teams 3-1.
Yeah, and we saw what Ensworth did against Christian Brothers. Really impressive. They just had some playmakers that Christian Brothers really couldn't cope with. So it's going to be interesting to see how MUS can cope with them. I don't like to do comparative scores because they're essentially meaningless. But if MUS can go up there and kind of control the tempo of the game with George Hamsley and the passing game, and maybe get things going a little bit with the running game and keep those Ensworth playmakers off the field, clearly they have a chance. I don't count MUS out against anybody.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what MUS does against them, because Ensworth was that team was impressive, man. Offensively, I couldn't believe how good they looked against Christian Brothers. And Christian Brothers didn't play well, but Ensworth, they just got, as you said, they just got playmakers. They got big old, tall, fast, wide receivers who are tough to guard at the high school level.
And MUS has playmakers too. Now they might not fit the central casting, role model of playmakers, but Clarkson, Schoaf, Mac Owen in particular. I mean, these guys can go get it. I mean, don't let looks deceive you. These guys for MUS know what they're doing when it comes to the passing game. They just, clearly they're not going to be drafted or anything, but they're good high school football players.
This side of that, with what Briarcrest is doing, and with Briarcrest, Christian Brothers, MUS, and then you throw in Brentwood and Ensworth. It is that could be a crazy race.
Well, it can be, and honestly, Eli, that just across the state in that division, when you throw in the Chattanooga schools, Knoxville Catholics playing some good football. It's just a insanity, trying to get through that league every year.
Non-region, you mentioned earlier, Hernando will play at Lausanne. Interesting game. Hernando, a big school from Mississippi, but they're 1-2. Lausanne off to a great start at 3-0. The other one I thought is really interesting. There's a number of non-region games, but ECS 3-1 at Olive Branch.
Yeah, ECS looks like they've kind of gotten things going a little bit, and surprisingly, they're passing a little bit more than is normal for ECS. Bennett Brady is starting to air it out a little bit. Last week he completed passes to 6 different receivers, and that that's just going to make things only that much easier for the running game. Jalen Greenwood is still injured, but Tucker White has stepped in pretty well in his stead. Tucker's had a couple of 100-yard games. Defensively, they posted a shutout last week. So, yeah, it's going to be a challenge. Numbers wise, Olive Branch is probably a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
But talent wise, I think it's probably fairly even. And ECS is playing some good football. They're well coached. They're going to go in there with a lot of confidence. And I like ECS to go in there and come out with a tough win. I think it's going to be a close game.
All right, one more before we let you go for our friends in Covington. They're off to a great start. They're undefeated. I don't know much about Ripley. I don't know if you do. They're 3-1. They'll play at Covington tonight.
Well, fun fact, Covington and Ripley have played more. Covington has played Ripley more than any other team in their history. This is the 52nd meeting between the two schools. Covington holds an advantage in the series. I think they're going to get the W. Like I said a few minutes ago, they have the best offense in town, and it's it's primarily run-based. They're running for over 400 yards a game. They're getting contributions from several guys, primarily Jamarian Dowell, who's averaging over 200 yards per game on the ground. They're just really, really good. When you talk about Class 3A football in Tennessee, obviously you start with Alcoa, but, and they're in a class by themselves. They're the Alabama of 3A football. But when you get past Alcoa, Covington is right up there with, the best of the best. I fully expect to see Covington make a deep, deep playoff run. I would not be surprised if they're playing Alcoa once again in the championship game. They're just that good, and Coach Kirby and his staff and all the kids at Covington just year in, year out just continue to do a tremendous job. And without a lot of recognition, they're kind of out there in no man's land. Jackson doesn't really claim them. We don't really claim them, but they're a darn good football team, and they should be talked about more, honestly.
400 rushing yards per game.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah,
Dowell's getting 200 by his own, and then you got a couple of other guys that are in the 80 to 90 category. It's insane.
Well, speaking of best of the best, John Varlas is the best, the Daily Memphian prep reporter, but so much more. Again, no notes. All those names, all those stats off the top of his head. I don't know how you do it. John, of course, will be covering high school football tonight, wall to wall. Help him out. Send him the stats and tidbits about games if you can on Twitter. Follow him at John Varlas. Of course, read his stories at the Daily Memphian. JV, as always, thank you so much.
I like that, Greg. Prep reporter and so much more.
And so much. I have to, because I know you do the 901 FC. You'll do some other things as well.
Yeah.
You don't want to just label John as one thing. He's multifaceted.
You can't put JV in a corner.
You can't. Don't put JV in a corner.
Nobody puts JV in the corner.
Nobody.
Don't fence me in.
Mr. Adonis, John Varlas.
Thank you, guys.
Second hour of the program is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. And each Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know former Tigers star wide receiver and NFL Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce will be honored tomorrow at the Tigers game against Mississippi State, was the first Tiger wide receiver to go over 1,000 receiving yards for a season. That was back in 1993. Since then, Anthony Miller and DeMonte Coxey have each done it twice. And current wide receiver Calvin Austin, John just mentioned his name, did it last season and is off to another great start this season with a chance, who knows, when it's all said and done, if he stays healthy, knock on wood, to go over 1,000 receiving yards once again. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Elmo. On the web at gaddisjewelers.com. They're your bridal, engagement, and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Been serving Memphians and Mid-Southerners in that same East Memphis location for a quarter century. They know picking out that perfect engagement ring is not the easiest thing to do, so they have experts to help you make that big decision. James is a master jeweler, certified appraiser, a diamondologist, and he's graded by the Gemologist Institute of America. They will help you pick out that right rock at James Gaddis Jewelers. 4900 Poplar. Give them a call. Tell them you heard it here on Sports 56 Middays, 901-767-9648. When we return, we turn our attention to the Titans and the NFL with Teresa Walker from the Associated Press. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Get happy with Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 3 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Are you ready to trade up to a Kia sales event and get our best deal of the year? Well, we got it Kia on Covington Pike. So get ready and take your pick from 2022 Kia Soul, 2021 Kia Forte, and 2021 Kia Rio. We got them all at just $248 a month. Yeah, you heard me right, Mid-South. Soul, Forte, Rio, 3 is your charm, and take your pick. Just $248 a month. Plus, with every new Gossett Kia, you'll find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So trade up and get top dollar at Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
72 months at 2.9 APR, $29.99 down. Sold in 716-1784. MSRP $20,500. Forte ME $402,825. MSRP $20,055. Rio ME $427,894. MSRP $19,755. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF $695. Must finance through Kia on low APR. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
Farmers want to make sure you got your favorite things covered and will give you a discount for doing it. Their auto multi-policy discount gives you up to 45% off your auto insurance for bundling policies like boat, motorcycle, RV, home, and life. It's just one of the many ways that you can save with Farmers. Call Daniel Chad Gallen at 901-235-1176 to learn more or get a quote.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Not available in every state. Only available with select Farmers branded policies subject to terms and conditions. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges, Farmers New World Life Insurance Company, or affiliate.
The original hot dog factory and Spike's Wing, located at 4265 Hex Cross Road near 385. The menu offers a variety of all-beef hot dogs with over 20 choices. Try some of the best-selling favorites like the Bacon Wrap Memphis Dog and even sausages like Street Polish, Italian, or Jamaican Jerk Chicken. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 till 10, and Sunday, 11 to 8. Catering and event hosting is available. Have your next meeting or family gathering at the original hot dog factory. Now hiring team members. Apply in person. The original hot dog factory and Spice Wing.
It's finally time to get out of the house. So make sure you stop by Family Leisure with great prices on in-stock and incoming products. Keep the kids active with play gyms, in stock, ready for delivery. And by the way, installation from the pros, I always recommend that. Markdowns on remaining game room products and those beautiful massage chairs. And the hot tubs, they're going fast. Get out of the house and get to Family Leisure. Wooden Road and I-40, where family and fun come together.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back to the program. Just about halfway home on this Friday edition of Sports 56 Middays, getting you sent for the sports weekend. Teresa Walker joins us in just a moment. We'll talk Memphis, Mississippi State with Brad Logan at 12:05. Then 10 in a row will come your way at 12:30. Daniel Jones, speaking on the little dispute there with Kenny Golladay, quote, "We'll work through it." And like we said, this happens all the time. All the time. This isn't anything that needs to be singled out, although when it's on national television and they show the sideline shot and Golladay is screaming at Jones, it's going to become a story.
Yeah, it's receivers always want the ball. And if they're not getting it, they get unhappy because they think receivers of the NFL generally think they're wide open on every play.
Every single play. She is a Tennessee Sports Writer Hall of Famer, a 4-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year, Associated Press Pro Football Writer. She is our good friend, Teresa Walker. You can follow her on Twitter at Teresa M. Walker. She joins us now on Sports 56 Middays. Hey, Teresa, how are you?
I am good. How are you and Eli doing this morning?
Doing pretty good.
Second Hall of Famer of the week. We had Isaac Bruce earlier in the week, and now you. Second Hall of Famer of the week.
Royalty this week, man. This is fantastic. So Teresa, who is, she reminds me, by the way, of, who was remind me, Teresa, AP, going back in time, White House, correspondent, always had the first question. Helen Thomas always got the first question. Teresa, I think, always gets the first question with the Titans. Mike Vrabel can't be really happy with what he saw out there last Sunday. That one shocked me. I don't know if it shocked you.
Oh, absolutely a surprise. But, I've seen them have some slow starts, and they have a new offensive coordinator, Todd Downing, and Raider fans were quick to remind me, as did my AP colleague Josh Dubow, that over his last 5 games, going back to his Raiders tenure in 2017, fired after 1 year as OC along with the rest of the staff, is that his offenses have averaged 13 points a game over the last 5 games. Huh. So it's like, and that's the thing. One thing we've talked about all offseason, especially after the trade for Julio Jones, is, defenses are going to have to pick their poison. We heard that a lot from some of the offensive players back in June particularly. Defenses are going to have to decide. Do you stop Derrick Henry? Do you stop those guys? Well, we saw the Cardinals focused on stopping Derrick Henry. Shocking, right? That they might focus on the guy who ran for 2,000 yards, the back-to-back NFL rushing leader. They focused on stopping the run. And Mark Mariani, former Titans receiver and kick returner, posted some snaps the other day, pointed out that the Titans were in a lot of bunched formations. Had those wide receivers, instead of spreading them out and spreading out the Arizona defense, they put them all into a phone booth almost and kept everybody tight to the line. And, and he was making the argument, spread them out, give Derrick Henry some chance to find some room to run.
Right.
I'm really curious to see how they respond on Sunday in Seattle. Tough second game. When the schedule came out, you're thinking, okay, you got a home opener. First time that's happened under Mike Vrabel, right? And then secondly, you got to go to Seattle. And they're going to have fans there for the first time since December 2019, right? It's already a loud building. They're going to be ready to celebrate because the Seahawks just thumped the Colts to open the season themselves. So, the Titans, this is going to be a gut check. Now, the Titans under Mike Vrabel are 8-2 in the game after losing by double digits. So, that's a good thing. In 3 seasons, that's happened 10 times. And they've won 8 of the next, games. So, can they respond? Yes. This seemed to be a bit of an eye opener, for many of the Titans, and the whole response was, well, we have to rush better, we have to block better, we have to move some pile, i.e., play their game that they know how to do. Taylor Lewan talked to us yesterday, and he was just used and abused by Chandler Jones. Right after the game, he tweeted, thank you, Chandler Jones, for exposing me.
Right.
And he told us yesterday, he's like, this is a guy who tore his ACL in mid-October. First time he's ever been injured in his life. He was too excited. He was excited Monday, a week ago, for that opener. And by the time he got to kickoff, he was drained. And then he started second-guessing himself, anybody, no matter what you're doing, if you're baking a cake or if you're trying to face Chandler Jones, you can't start second-guessing yourself in the middle of, trying to play somebody or do something. So we'll see how much they can correct in a week. The bigger thing, guys, I think that they were trying to whistle past the graveyard in a way of, this is a team that had 12 players on the reserve COVID list. Now, they all said, it was good timing. It wasn't there during the season. But Tannehill was on that list. Their last two key starters came off that list last Wednesday. Center Ben Jones, right guard Nate Davis. They didn't practice. This starting offense did not practice much together during training camp in the preseason. So, they're having to work on chemistry, fine-tune timing, and do that on the run now in practice in the regular season. And I think that was maybe the thing that showed the most last week.
That to me is what's interesting about the NFL's. I mean, a lot of teams now, it seems like, are not playing guys in preseason games. Then you've got others like the Titans who have battled through COVID, and so guys weren't even able to practice at all, and kind of looking around the league and trying to see if you can find anything out. But some of the it's kind of a mixed bag as far as the ones that didn't play preseason games. Some of those offenses look fine, others of those offenses and guys look terrible in week one.
Well, and that's the thing, Eli. The Titans didn't. There were no preseason games last year, and yes, they kind of struggled a little bit, but they did start 5-0. And their opener was at Denver in the altitude on Monday night, and they lost the starter, cornerback Adoree Jackson, just hours before that game, put on IR. And they came out and kind of stumbled a bit and found a way to win. And maybe that was the thing. I just kept expecting them to do something that would get them going, but every time they do, they scored 2 touchdowns, and then the defense gives up something else. So this is a defense that was really revamped. I think there's like 6 starters now on that defense that they brought in. And, Janoris Jenkins, he was slipping all over the place. He told us yesterday he had a shoe issue. And it's like, okay, that explains one thing. You're a veteran, though. Shouldn't you fix that before kickoff? And then Bud Dupree is a guy who, he tore his ACL at the beginning of December last year. So, he's getting back up to speed himself. So, and they do expect him to get better as the season goes. They were chasing an awful lot, and they got 2 sacks, but, they're going to face another quarterback on Sunday who can run around and buy time. And this defense is absolutely going to be tested by the likes of Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Lockett. They've got some weapons up there. And, this defense, tough to see much change from last year, at least in the production.
Well, speaking of weapons, Julio Jones, a new weapon for the Titans, not the debut that anybody had hoped for, including Julio Jones himself. And then that penalty that he committed, Mike Vrabel was very critical of it. Vrabel, as you know, has come out and said, listen, I don't say anything publicly that I don't say privately as well. Have they patched that up? Is that going to be an issue?
Well, here's the thing. Let's remember where Julio Jones played college, right? Alabama, under Nick Saban. And one of the things he said, as soon as he got here that he liked was that locker room vibe around the team was like college atmosphere, which I'm going to read Alabama-like, right? Mm-hmm. And in Alabama, Nick Saban holds people accountable. Mike Vrabel is no different, okay? He has held other people accountable. And, to me, the message it sends in the locker room, Julio Jones seems to be a guy who likes to be coached, right? And Mike Vrabel doesn't pull punches, and he, if you're going to hold accountable a guy who's headed to the Pro Football Hall of Fame when his career's over, guess what message that sends to the 53rd man on the roster? You make a mistake, you're going to be called out, you're going to be held accountable. And for a team coming off a 38-13 beating, they need to be held accountable. So yes. I know that some national people have seen that. This isn't the first time he said, that one of the big mantras is don't do dumb, I'm paraphrasing here, stuff to hurt the team. So, Julio Jones seems to be a guy that can handle it. I'm more concerned about the fact that, rookie Marco Wilson stripped the ball out of his hands when it should have been a catch. Marco Wilson's the guy who's best known for throwing a shoe at Florida. Remember that?
Yes.
Made him drop in the draft. And here he is breaking up a pass to Julio Jones. So if I'm Julio Jones, I'm more concerned about the fact that, I got called for a penalty. He shoved the guy, with a hand to the face. Could have been tossed if it's a different official looking at that and sees that more as a punch in that moment, right? So he's lucky he stayed in the game. And, that's not the Julio Jones Titans thought they were getting. And, when I asked Julio Jones in June about all the talk, people thinking he's washed up at 32, his answer to me was stay tuned. Well, we're still waiting.
You mentioned it, but coming off a game in which you get roasted by the DeAndre Hopkins and Tyler Lockett's Christian Kirk's, now going against DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and you kind of got a similar quarterback in Russell Wilson to Kyler Murray. This just doesn't seem like a good recipe for the defense for Game 2. But I guess it's a chance to redeem themselves against a lot of similar type guys.
Absolutely. And here's the thing: the offense Eli can be a huge help. By staying on the field, stringing together to drives. Don't go 3 and out. They did that 5 times last week, not counting the 6th one that was ended by the end of the game. So, stay on the field. Don't turn the ball over 3 times, right? That Titans defense was backed up in bad situations more than once. So, give them a chance to get their breath, to get their legs under them, and, maybe try to get a 3 and out. They did actually do pretty well. They got the Cardinals off the field early in that game, but then the turnovers started and the offense couldn't stay on the field, and then it just kind of started colliding from there. So, Titans were on the field as a defense, I think 10 more minutes than the offense. Help them out that way, and then we'll see if they can see what they can do.
17-game season now, so you have the extra game. It's not the hardest division in the league by any stretch of the imagination. But what happens if they return home from Seattle 0-2?
It won't be pretty. Now, the good thing is they come back. They've got the Colts here in a game that will absolutely be crucial anyway, because it's the 2 teams likely expected to battle for the top of the AFC South. Then they go to the New York Jets, which you would think they could get back to even. The problem is the next 5 games after that.
Mm-hmm.
They come back. They've got the Bills on Monday night. Then they've got Kansas City visits on that Sunday, so a short week. There's a game against the Rams on Sunday night in L.A. There's like a 5-week span there that, when this schedule came out, it's like, okay, that's a murderer's row.
Right.
So they need to, going 0-2, you can climb out of it and get to the playoffs, especially in the 17th game where you get that extra chance. But the problem is, they can't be below water going into that 5-game stretch. So, this is a team that needs to find itself and remember how they play quickly.
Yeah, that's Bills, Chiefs, and at Colts, at Rams. That's brutal. That is
a murderer's
that's a tough
row.
little stretch right there.
Oh, then look into the next game.
Saints is the next game.
Exactly. The Saints, who you might have thought with Jameis Winston would be a chance for a good win, and now Jameis Winston, look what they did to the Packers.
Yeah.
So that you can Jameis Winston looks like he learned really well at the feet of Drew Brees over the last year, right? So, that's a 5-game stretch that there's no gimmies in there. So they have to absolutely try to get back on the winning side this week.
Are you coming up, off subject here, are you going to be able to come up for me? I'm so excited that we're going to have a normal Grizzlies media day.
Well, not completely normal, but normal.
Well, we're going to be there broadcasting live, so I assume that everybody can do interviews, right?
It's a limited number.
Well, is Teresa coming?
Well, of course I'm coming.
Yeah, there we go. That's all. That's all I wanted to know. Teresa.
I have too much work to do out of media day, so yes, I'll be there.
Now we know it's official. We're back to normal. If Teresa's here, it's back to normal. She is terrific. Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer, 4-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year, and Associated Press Pro Football Writer. She is Teresa Walker. You can follow her on Twitter at Teresa M. Walker. Always a pleasure, Teresa. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks,
Take
Teresa.
care.
Yeah, that is a brutal stretch for the Titans.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Just having the Bills Chiefs back to back, that's rough.
Well, the Colts isn't going to be a picnic here. The next game, game 3, the Colts need to improve. Wentz needs to show me something, but she's right about the Jets. You should be able to win no matter where you're playing the Jets. But after that, that is one tough schedule for the next 5 games, I guess she said. The biggest game this Sunday on the schedule, Chiefs versus Ravens. And FanDuel Sportsbook is about to make it even bigger because FanDuel is giving new customers 30-1 odds on either team to win. That means you can end the weekend right by winning $150 on a $5 bet. Again, I've said it all week long. I can't go against Kansas City. Great comeback win over Cleveland. The Ravens, with their running game, there's some issues. And obviously the loss to the Raiders in overtime. They're going to be licking their chops, but I like Kansas City in this one. FanDuel Sports Betting made simple. They're always hooking you up with great offers. Plus, when you win, you'll get paid in as little as 24 hours. There's nothing like same-game parlays, which they offer. You can do money line and spread, touchdown, score, first score, anytime score, and mix it all up for a terrific parlay. Safe and secure, easy to use, as I mentioned, fast payouts. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Just sign up with promo code GASMAN this Sunday, or at least before this Sunday, before the Chiefs take on the Ravens. You could win $150 on a $5 bet. Remember to use promo code GASMAN so they know I sent you exclusively on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You must be 21 or over, present in Tennessee, new users only, $10 first deposit is required. Must wager in designated offer market, max bonus $150. Bonus for Tennessee users fulfilled in site credit within 72 hours. Tennessee site credit expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You have opinions?
Well, you gotta have an opinion.
We want to hear them. Call or text us on the AutoZone listener line at 360-8255. That's the AutoZone listener line at 901-360-8255.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Hey everybody, it's Rick Earwood, and you know in my day I've bought several homes, and nothing can be more overwhelming and time-consuming than trying to secure financing. Let me steer you in the direction of Tommy Cotham at Bartlett Mortgage, a guy that's been originating loans for 25 years in the greater Memphis area. Tommy does all products, conventional, FHA, USDA, VA. Maybe you're wanting to stay in your home now and just refinance. He can do that as well. So hey, go ahead, give Tommy a call at 901-335-7308. Get your pre-approval so you'll know what you can spend, find your home, and then pack your boxes and get ready to move. It's that easy with Tommy Cotham at Bartlett Mortgage. Call him today at 901-335-7308. Once again, that number, 901-335-7308. Tell him Rick told you to call.
Barks now offers you just about everything you need for your furry family member. Daycare, luxury boarding, award-winning grooming, veterinary checkups, diagnostic services including digital x-ray, fluoroscopy, and ultrasound, complete dental service, vaccinations, preventative care for fleas, ticks, and heartworms, and just about any needed surgical treatment. And did I mention that we treat cats and all types of exotic pets? We are the newest member of the Barks family and the newest, most high-tech veterinary hospital in the Mid-South. Located directly across the street from Barks and Recreation, we are a full-service hospital with a fantastic, experienced staff. If you're having problems getting a timely appointment at your current vet's facility, we are here to serve you. Call us at 901-979-8888. Barks and Medication. Excellence in veterinary care.
From biscuit sammies to omelets to pancakes to just about anything else you dream of for breakfast or lunch, the place to go is Sunrise on Jefferson. You've heard all your friends talking about it. Now come try Sunrise for yourself. And if you can't get to Sunrise, remember, for breakfast or lunch, Sunrise Catering can always bring it to you. And by the way, we hate being closed on Mondays, and we're hiring team members to serve you again. So if you're hungry for the perfect breakfast or lunch, come to Sunrise. And if you're looking to join a crew that loves their customers, well, that's Sunrise too.
Hey, Jeff Allen. I hear that three's a charm at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah, so I'm ready to trade up to a Kia sales event with you, my man.
That's right, Randy. 3 rides, all just $248 a month. Take your pick from a 2022 Kia Soul LX, 2021 Kia Forte LXS, or a 2021 Kia Rio LXS. Your choice, $248 a month.
And Soul, longer, better warranty than Honda or Nissan. Forte, more passenger volume and thousands less than Honda Civic. And Rio, higher MPG and thousands less than Corolla. Plus, you'll get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty program.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
All 72 months at 2.9 APR, $29.99 down. Sold in 716,174. MSRP $20,500. Forte ME 402,825. MSRP $20,055. Rio ME 427,894. MSRP $19,755. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF $695. Must finance through Kia on low APR. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I have to believe. Now, maybe he'll have cooled down by then, by next Wednesday. But Jerry Palm has got to be irate.
Oh, yes.
With the folks at Notre Dame.
The big drum.
Not allowing the big drum, the big Purdue drum, can't get into the stadium. Jerry, as a band guy and a Purdue alum, has got to be disgusted with the folks at Notre Dame.
Oh, he's irate. There's no question about it. So
first time since 1979 the drum won't be at a game.
Yeah, and you know the deal, right? You know why.
Yeah, because it won't fit through the only tunnel they allow the visitors to use.
Yeah, let the drum come through their tunnel, which it fits, and get onto the field and then out the same way, and that's it. Just let the drum come through, and who's ever pushing the drum.
It's the drum's 100th anniversary, for goodness sake. Here in year number 100.
Beat the drum, for goodness sake.
The folks at Notre Dame are saying you cannot get your drum in our stadium.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
What's ridiculous is that they have a drum that's so big that it can't fit in the stadium.
Wait, what are you, anti-big drums here?
Like, that's just crazy. That's a big drum. I mean, there are massive offensive linemen who will go down that tunnel onto the field, but they've got a drum that can't get through there.
It's like the Trojan horse, man. There's like dudes inside the drum. They rip it open, they come out, they end up.
Jerry's got to be hot. Jerry's got to be, ooh, man.
No question about it.
He is. He was with that drum. There was a time in his life that he and that drum were together.
Yeah, not directly. He was. I don't know, what instrument did he play?
I'm not sure what instrument he played.
But it wasn't the drum.
No, I don't. No, I'm not saying he played the big, but he and that big drum were together. They were a team.
Hung with the drum.
They were part of the same team.
Probably drank with the drum. Yeah, no question about it.
1979, it goes back to. It has not missed a game since 1979, and it can't go to Notre Dame because Notre Dame won't let it use their tunnel.
Nice.
They're like, nope. If you can figure out a way to jam it through your tunnel, you're fine, but you will not use our home tunnel.
I'm a Catholic, so I can say this. Nice Catholics over here. Come on, man. You're supposed to help out the fellow man. All they're asking for is the drum, for goodness sakes. It's all bets are off, man, when it comes down to football. That's a big advantage if you can get that drum in there for Purdue. And maybe it's because Notre Dame has had 2 close shaves in their first 2 weeks. If they had 2 blowout wins, maybe they let the drum in. Maybe they'll change their mind before tomorrow.
I'm guessing that they will not change their mind. If they've come this far, now you got to stick with your policy. You just have to say, nope, you can't get it in. Sorry, it's your problem. Maybe they could bring it. Purdue should just get a helicopter. Hire a helicopter to
lower the drum down
to bring it down into the stadium and drop it on the field.
Costly.
So what? They got plenty of money.
That drum is so big it will probably bring the chopper down. There's no chopper strong enough. Bring in the chopper. The chopper. It's probably not strong enough to hold the damn drum up. That drum's so big.
I mean, I just watched the helicopters do a flyover at Ole Miss last week. Purdue just got to get one of those to come in a little early and drop it on the field there at Notre Dame. Take it over today without even Notre Dame knowing. Just have a helicopter go drop it on the field, and then Notre Dame will find out that there's a drum down there later on.
The big controversy of the college football weekend, the big drum, not on the field at Notre Dame for the Purdue Boilermakers. From the NFL, Tom Brady said yesterday, and he had that little thing with Gronk. That was pretty cool, little interview that Gronk's doing with Tom Brady. And, of course, his age comes up again. He's 44. He's still playing incredibly well. And they talked about 50. Remember, the number first was 45, and we all kind of rolled our eyes years ago when Brady said, yeah, I want to play till I'm 45. There's no way. This guy's a quarterback in the NFL. The hits he takes, he's going to last till he's 45. Well, now, that's not even a question. But the latest is 50. And Tom Brady said, I can play till I'm 50.
At this point, there's no need to question anything. You just let him play until he's done. He's not showing any signs of aging on the field, it doesn't seem like. So, yeah, at this point, I'm not going to be surprised at whatever age he ends up playing to.
It's all because he doesn't eat Subway bread, yet he's the spokesperson for Subway. It makes no sense.
And millions are boycotting Subway because of it.
So Gabe asked me a moment ago, and this kind of relates a little bit to the question I asked you yesterday during 2.5 questions. Yesterday I asked you, give me the three best, I think it was the three best college football players you've ever seen in person. I think that's what the question was. And I know one of your answers was Patrick Willis and Eli Manning. And it's a tough question to answer because you can't remember all the games you were at. But Gabe said on Twitter they're talking about the best offensive and defensive player that you've ever seen, but not in person. So you could have seen these players on television.
It could be in person, too.
Yeah, no, it could be in person, but it's not just –
heck, you could watch a replay of a game.
So even players that played way before you were born, if you've seen video of them playing, that's –
yes.
Okay. So who would you pick, Eli?
I would probably go –
offense is so tough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to choose from there. There's a lot of people that could vote to go there.
I mean, defensively, and I said to Gabe, look, there's Reggie White and Ronnie Lott was incredible, and Troy Polamalu. I go Bosworth. Bosworth was so good in college. He wasn't in the NFL, but Bosworth was a terror out there.
Defensively, I probably would stick with the guy I said yesterday, Patrick Willis.
Yeah, and we brought up Willis as well.
I said Willis.
Patrick Willis, again, he made every tackle.
But I don't know. But I don't know if he was better. I don't know if he was better than Bosworth.
There's another one relatively recent that I'd say. How about Ndamukong Suh?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, he was
Nebraska. He was fantastic.
He was unbelievable.
He was such a monster.
I know the Boz, friend of the show, by the way. We've had him on the show.
I don't believe he's a friend of the show.
I know he's become sort of.
He knows us.
He's been on the show, though. He's almost become a caricature of himself. But people forget because he got run over by Bo Jackson in the NFL, and he didn't have a long NFL career. He was great. I mean, absolutely dominant as a defensive player in college. Now, offensively, I lean toward Herschel Walker or Bo Jackson. Tony Dorsett was incredible when I watched him at Pitt. I mean, Earl Campbell. There's so many choices.
If you're talking about just like having seen film, because obviously I was alive and I guess may have watched him, but I don't remember.
Barely alive.
Herschel Walker, to me, is the best offensive player to ever play.
That's who I said. I said I went Walker and Bosworth.
But so if you're talking about just having seen somebody film whatever, I mean, if you're talking about people you've watched and like can remember watching them, Tommy Frazier would be among those. Obviously, Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel, Cam Newton.
Gabe's rolling his eyes now.
No. Tim
Newton
Tebow can be up there, but when you're talking about the history of college football and you're talking about guys that we've seen even in the past 20 years, how far down the list is Tim Tebow? Cam Newton was a better player than Tim Tebow. Lamar Jackson, with what he had on that Louisville team. I mean, he was
almost a greater winner than he was a player.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like a leader, winner.
You can look at stats and longevity, but I mean, he was running for about 3 yards a carry when he was running the ball. So look, I just think If you're putting Tim Tebow as your best offensive player of all time, I don't think that's correct. I'm sorry.
And I know Cam Newton had the incredible year. It's hard for me to go with somebody who played 1 year, but I'm not pulling.
It's about what they did on the field,
and I'm not pulling out
while they were on it.
I'm not
Cam
pulling
Newton, that year was like it was insane.
Oh no, it was incredible.
Like
he won him a
can't be
championship.
better.
The guy won him a championship. Made Gene Chizik a champion. I'm not pulling out the microfiche to look at the Galloping Ghost, Red Grange, or somebody from back then. But when I was a kid, when I started to watch games, it was O.J. and then Anthony Davis and Charles White and all those guys at USC. Tony Dorsett in the early 70s at Pitt was incredible. But, of course, the big three, Bo, Earl Campbell, Herschel. Herschel's the one I went with.
Somebody mentioned Barry Sanders on the text line.
Yeah.
Certainly Barry Sanders was great, no doubt. Again, I believe Herschel Walker was the best player in college football history.
Gale Sayers was great at Kansas. The Kansas Comet, I think they called it. But I never saw – I don't even know if I've ever seen video or film of Sayers at Kansas. Sayers always was an NFL guy to me. But, yeah, there's so many great choices. I think it's very, very hard offensively. Defensively, a lot of great players. No question about it. But – and the Boz, he had everything. He had the persona, the personality, but he had the goods as well on the field. It was really, really incredible. And sometimes we overlook the offensive lineman, Gabe. You know how good
Orlando Pace.
And you know how good Tony Mandarich was in college? I mean, he was terrible in the NFL, but he was great in college. When we come back, our final hour this week, we've talked an awful lot about it, and understandably so. It's Memphis and Mississippi State tomorrow, 3 o'clock at Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. We'll get the Bulldogs perspective from our friend Brad Logan, and then 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Folks, good news for bargain hunters and bandits from the Chevy Sheriff in Collierville. It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Chevy. Lots of new Chevys and used cars in stock just in time for the Sunrise Low Price Rodeo. Check out the savings at sunrisememphis.com, and don't forget, Sunrise specializes in secondary financing. Need a good body shop? Bring it to Sunrise. We work on all makes and models, and remember, you can bring your Chevy to Sunrise for service no matter where you bought it. Buy American and buy from Sunrise. Find new roads to the Sunrise Chevy Ranch, 385 in Houston Levy and Collierville. Chevys cost less at Sunrise, partner.
It's hot outside and your air conditioner just quit. Quick, who do you call? Automatic Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing, of course, with 24-hour emergency service available. Automatic understands your house is unique, so they work fast to find the right solution for your family's comfort and budget needs. And with financing available and payments as low as $75 a month, it's never been easier to make your home comfortable. Call 363-4636 or go online to itsautomatic.com. Turn to the experts at Automatic Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing.
Need to sell your home? You're in luck because I buy houses. All you have to do is call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pin, 901-406-1101, or just save it in your phone. Bill at I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses buys houses in any area, in any condition, at any time, as simple as that. I Buy Houses is guaranteed to close in 5 days. So if you need your cash fast, just call Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. Has your house been on the market? Were you just tired of renters? Or is it just time to start over? Well, avoid repairing, cleaning, painting, and prepping your house. Just pick up the phone and call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses. If you're in Southwind, South Memphis, North Mississippi, North Memphis, Collierville, if you can hear this, just call my friend, Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101.
At Gateway Tire, we go the distance for you.
When it comes to tires, auto repair, and car maintenance, Gateway has it all. Gateway Tire and Service Center is here to help you with all your service and tire needs. Choose from Yokohama, Toyo, Firestone, and Michelin. The list goes on and on. We have tires for all your needs and budgets. And when it comes to service, Gateway Tire has the most experienced mechanics and state-of-the-art equipment. Come see us for any repairs, alignment, struts, air conditioner, schedule maintenance, and more, including brakes with a free brake inspection. Then take advantage of the Gateway credit card. Apply today for stress-free financing made easy with no annual fee. Ask about our 6-month deferred interest with any purchase over $149. Go to gatewaytireandservice.com for great deals and coupons. Gateway Tire and Service Center has it all for you and your family.
At Gateway Tire, we go the distance for you.
Memphis, it's official, honey. Crab Kings is where it's at. The best seafood with 7 flavors to choose from. Try the shrimp, chicken, salmon, and fried lobster pastas. There's snow crab, king crab, dungeons, and more. Please don't forget about the calamari, shrimp, and lobsters, honey. The portion, the price, the taste is only at Crab Kings. Download our app and search Crab Kings on Google. Visit us at crabkingstn.com. Crab Kings, where the flavor is king.
Hi, I'm Troy Fivesh, owner of Fivesh Roofing. Sunday, today and today only. And for the first 50 callers. These are things you will never hear me say in my ads. Because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you don't need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get someone's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. 5S Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service, and I do it for a fair price, why would I need gimmicks? Best products, best warranties, and the best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. 5S Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5S Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5S Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South Sports Station.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Everyone's watching to see what you do. Everyone's looking at you.
Sing it, Mike Reno. Oh, put it up, Gabe. Come on now.
Will you come out tonight?
Tell us, lover boy.
Everyone's trying to get it right.
What are we trying to get right?
Everybody's working.
Oh, yeah. We're all working for the weekend. We got one more hour here on Middays before our weekend gets started. What a weekend it's going to be, as we have pigskin games all over the place. College tomorrow, NFL Sunday. Of course, tonight a big slate of high school football right here in Memphis. A big one at 3 o'clock as the Tigers will host Mississippi State. And Ole Miss will take on Tulane at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. Here's a guy who covers both teams and all things in the Mississippi area and Memphis as well. He's all over the place. He's our friend Brad Logan, reporter, columnist, and host of the Brad Logan podcast show. You can follow him on Twitter at Brad Logan, COTE. He joins us now on Sports 56 Middays. Hey, Brad, how are you?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. And Greg, be honest, were you dancing during Loverboy's song?
I was. Yeah.
I couldn't see the video.
The head was bobbing.
I could feel it.
The head was bobbing a little bit.
I could feel it. Yeah. It's Friday. It's Friday before college football Saturday in the South, and man, it's a loaded slate. I know it's loaded for you guys in Memphis. It's loaded here in Oxford where I am. I've got a media availability with women's basketball. Coach Yolette McEwen, she's excited about her team, and I'm excited about the Saturday slate of college football games.
Well, let's start with Memphis and Mississippi State. Want to get your perspective on the Bulldogs. Obviously, we've talked a lot about the matchup all week long. Mississippi State coming off a really good defensive performance in the win over NC State. The Tigers defense not performing the way that we thought they would in a 55-50 win over Arkansas State, but all bets are off now. It's a new game. It's a new day, and a big challenge for the Tigers. What are the biggest challenges you think the Tigers face in this Mississippi State team?
Well, the number one thing, I think there are a couple of keys to victory for Memphis. I think, number one, you cannot kick the ball to Mississippi State's Tulu Griffin. He's averaging 40 yards a return. That's both kickoff and punt return. So can't kick it to him. He returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns, 1 against Louisiana Tech. The Bulldogs were down 31-17 with about 12 minutes to go in the game. Obviously, we know they came back and won the game, but it was because of the Tulu Griffin return in the early part of the fourth quarter, returned all the way down to about the 5. Mississippi State eventually scored, and that's when the onslaught began for the Bulldogs. Secondly, last week against NC State, he returns the opening kickoff for a touchdown. So if I'm Coach Ryan Silverfield, I know he's seen the tape. Do not kick it to Tulu Griffin. Secondly, for Mississippi State, I think they're going to have to do their best to establish the run. We haven't seen Woody Marks and Dylan Johnson really have the opportunity to really hit the ground running. I think NC State and La Tech came in with 20 transfers. They were a lot better than people thought. I thought they did a nice job of stopping that Mississippi State run. So I think for the Bulldogs, they need to establish a run on this Memphis defense that, Greg, you pointed out. But to Memphis' credit and to Mike McIntyre's credit, they had a pretty good lead. And I think that they may have sat down just a little bit, maybe, kind of did not give the effort they probably should have late in that game that allowed Arkansas State to come back. That Butch Jones-led offense, he was an offensive mind at Cincinnati, didn't quite work out at Tennessee, but I'm not surprised to see that Arkansas State put a lot of points on the board. For the Tigers, I think they're going to have to do their best to stop that running attack. We haven't seen Will Rogers do a whole lot. That's the Mississippi State quarterback this year. He's going to lean on Mekhi Polk, the wide receiver, along with Jaden Walley. Those are the 2 key components of that Mississippi State passing attack. They just haven't done a whole lot the first 2 games. You almost feel like this may be an opportunity for them to break out. But I think for Memphis, keep the turnovers to a minimum and see if they can do some things offensively, because defensively, I think the verdict's still out on them. Once again, I think the verdict's out on Mississippi State. This is a 3.5-point spread. It hasn't moved hardly at all.
Right.
And I looked at the line. I looked at the amount of bets placed on this game. It's one of the lowest placed games across the betting board. That tells me people are scared to death of this. They don't know what to expect, and I'm kind of in that boat as well.
With Will Rogers, the numbers look good. I mean, when you're completing 75% of your passes, that's pretty darn good. But it's a lot of short passes. Marks has 16 catches out of the backfield, but only has 55 yards on them. How good is Will Rogers?
He was really good last year, Eli, specifically at the latter part of the year. I mean, we saw what he did against Ole Miss, around 440 yards through the air. He did well against Missouri. Missouri wasn't awful on defense last year, and they won that game. And, of course, we saw what they did in the Armed Forces Bowl against Tulsa. He played really well in the running attack of Woody Marks and Dylan Johnson. And Jaden Walley. I mean, Jaden Walley in the Egg Bowl, the wide receiver, had a huge game. Once again, he has not had a good season so far. I think the head-scratching moment for Mississippi State fans is, where is this offense, and why have they not played well? You almost feel like they just haven't broken through yet, because at one point, Eli, it was 14-0 last week against NC State. We were told that Dave Gordon was going to bring the greatest NC State team he's ever had. I really don't want to hear anything else about NC State. They played terrible. They didn't look good. We'll see how they go throughout the rest of the year. But we were expecting to see a really much a breakout game. It was 14-0. I think Mississippi State had, 10 yards of total offense? And it was just a situation where we haven't seen them play well so far. And I don't know if it's a sophomore slump for Will Rogers, but we just haven't seen it, Eli. We know he can do it. We just haven't seen it.
Brad, the Mississippi State defensive front, the front seven, has done a great job against the rush. The Memphis rushing attack is evident this year with Brandon Thomas. Last year, it was at times non-existent. They have now this guy who's got speed and power in that great combination. And I've said numerous times this week that if Memphis can get the running game going against Mississippi State, it will take the pressure off Seth Hennigan, their freshman quarterback, who will be making his third start. How good do you think the defensive front is for Mississippi State?
I think here's what's going to be problematic for Memphis and Seth Hennigan, the young quarterback. I think Zach Arnett's one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. I mean, that's not really coming from me. That's coming from NFL analysts that I've actually had a chance to speak with, and they think that he is an absolute rock star as a defensive coordinator. Unfortunately for Memphis, I think he's got a game plan for Seth Hennigan that he has not seen all year. I think they're going to throw the kitchen sink at him. We haven't seen the best out of Aaron Brule, the talented all-conference linebacker from Mississippi State, Martin Emerson in that backfield, along with Emmanuel Forbes. I think those are the two key components for Mississippi State because they're going to rush a lot. They're going to bring a lot of pressure. Jaden Crumedy across that defensive front has led that defensive front all year long. Defense is where Mississippi State has shined this year. They played well at spurts against Louisiana Tech, but they played well the entire game against NC State. I think Memphis is going to have a difficult time throwing the football. I think in order for Memphis, they need to throw to set up that running attack. I agree with you. I think it's going to be tough. I think Aaron Brule and that defensive secondary are going to play well, and I think he's probably going to see packages he hasn't seen all year. That's why I think the first quarter is so key for Memphis, frankly. If they can withstand the first quarter, and the defensive coordinator, Mike McIntyre for Memphis, and both that offensive coordinator for Memphis, they can see some things that are going on with that Mississippi State defense. I think that will help Memphis a lot. If Memphis can keep it close through halftime, I think they've got a chance to win the game. Otherwise, I look for Mississippi State to do some crazy things on defense, and that's definitely something to be on the lookout for.
They were able to rally and get that win against Louisiana Tech, which is certainly big. And last week was an impressive win over a pretty good NC State team. Where do fans stand with the Mike Leach experience so far?
I don't think, judging by the attendance, now, I mean, we could talk about COVID and we can talk about game times and that sort of thing. I don't think they're pleased, judged by the attendance, Eli. I mean, and now that the 11 o'clock kick has been announced for the LSU game next week for Mississippi State, that's one of their premier home games, and the fans are really upset about the game time for that. They just haven't shown up. And will they show up next week? I think a lot has to do with how Mississippi State plays against Memphis on Saturday. But the experience has not gone well. I mean, last year Mississippi State ended up winning, 3-4 games, and I understand it was a COVID-shortened year, but things just didn't come together very much last year until the latter part of the year. And anytime you don't win the Egg Bowl, that's just added pressure on whoever the coach is, whether it be for Ole Miss or Mississippi State. So I think if Mississippi State can somehow win 6-7 games, win the Egg Bowl, Mike Leach should be fine. The problem with that is you get an Ole Miss team this year, gentlemen, that I think is one of the best Ole Miss teams they've had since 15-ish, maybe since Hugh Freeze was head coach. So, and it's going to be difficult for them to beat this Ole Miss team. And you compound that with their next 3 games are LSU, Alabama, and Texas A&M. And I think they're all getting boat raced in all 3 of those games. That's why I think this is a huge game for Mississippi State, and it's a huge game for Memphis. The most important thing, I think, for both these teams, guys, win the game. I don't care how you win the game, just win it. And I think for Memphis, it would be huge, both from a Big 12 standpoint, from a grand scheme of things, SEC opponent coming in, just win the game. And that's just a feather in their hat. No pressure on Memphis whatsoever. You lose the game, okay, well, we're expected to lose. Win the game, all bets are off. Mississippi State, you cannot lose this game if you're trying to get the 7-8 wins. It's a must-win for Mississippi State without question.
Brad, one more thing on this game, and then we'll get your thoughts on Ole Miss and Tulane. The weather could be iffy tomorrow. If it is a lot of rain, does that affect the air raid? And I know they're not chucking it down the field. The air raid is not just that. It's a lot of short passes this year from Rodgers. But how does rain or inclement weather affect the aerial attack of an air raid, a Mike Leach coached offense?
I think for Memphis and Mississippi State, I think it will definitely affect Mississippi State more because they like to go to the air a lot more. They don't have – I guess it's safe to say Mississippi State uses the screen passes and the bubble routes like a sweep pass. I'm sorry, like a sweep or whatever that your Ole Miss and your Memphis uses as a normal sweep toss or whatever, shooting body left and right. So I think it definitely would benefit Memphis if that weather comes down. Now in Oxford, for that case, if you look at what Ole Miss is able to do offensively, they throw the ball a ton. But I think it probably helps Tulane because of Fitt's running ability. He's basically a second and third running back for Tulane. Matt Corral, they're trying to keep him from running the ball so he does not get injured. So I think if we get weather in Oxford tomorrow, I think it definitely benefits Tulane. But if weather comes to Memphis tomorrow, I think it's probably going to benefit Mississippi State.
Do you believe, there's no doubt that Tulane, in my opinion, is going to be the best team that Ole Miss has played so far this year. I think they're better than Louisville is.
I do too.
Do you think they keep that one close?
I think we'll know a lot by the half. I think Tulane's going to throw everything they can at Matt Corral in the first quarter. Very similar to what Seth Hennigan's going to get from Mississippi State. Very similar dynamics there by each defensive coordinator. But I think at the end of the day for Ole Miss, if thing goes to chalk like it should, the 14 points is pretty fair. I think Ole Miss probably runs away with it in the fourth quarter because of depth. I think Matt Corral is going to come in with a purpose. A lot of people keep talking about which Matt Corral shows up. Well, to be fair, the Matt Corral that showed up against Arkansas, and I mean, maybe there's an argument for Auburn, maybe LSU, that was kind of an anomaly because ever since that moment, he hasn't thrown an interception, I don't think. I mean, over the last 3 games, maybe, I think he's thrown 140-some-odd passes and none have been intercepted. So he's obviously made some alterations to his game plan, along with his head coach Lane Kiffin and offensive coordinator Jeff Levy. So I think it's a little unfair to say which one shows up. I think at the end of the day, we've seen the emergence of Jonathan Mingo at wide receiver. We've seen the emergence of Dontario Drummond that's kind of taken the place of Elijah Moore. That was a big question coming into the season, who was going to take those catches, and we've seen Dontario Drummond really step up. So I am excited to see this game, I think, number one, from a uniform standpoint, because it could be the uniform Super Bowl between Ole Miss and Tulane by what they've released. But, all jokes aside, this Tulane team is easily the best team Ole Miss has faced. Mm-hmm. But I think just like Memphis and Mississippi State, this will not be a surprise moment. This is not a trap game for Ole Miss. This is the team that Lane Kiffin went out to say, this is an SEC caliber team. So I expect Ole Miss to get Tulane's best shot, but I can assure you Ole Miss will be ready for it.
It's interesting with Corral, too, because as you look at the Heisman Trophy race, this is a common opponent with a guy like Spencer Rattler. And Rattler was decent against Tulane, but wasn't spectacular by any means. If you go out there and light them up, you've got, listen, he played him, I played him, and look at the numbers between the two of us.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and, Kirk Herbstreit made the comment on ESPN when Robert Griffin III projected, and also Lee Corso, that Matt Corral was either leading for the Heisman Trophy or was going to win the Heisman Trophy. And, Herbstreit actually said on a media availability that I was able to be able to call with that he just doesn't think that Matt Corral has a chance unless Ole Miss wins 10 or 11 games. And to be fair, I mean, we could go back in history and look. It's always the Heisman Trophy goes to the team that's either in the playoff or is in the national championship. So it's interesting to see. Now, maybe the Davey O'Brien Award, but I don't know if Matt Corral can win the Heisman simply because I don't know that Ole Miss can get to that mark. Mm-hmm. The key for Ole Miss is to play well at Alabama. At that point, you get Texas A&M on campus. You got LSU on campus. You go on the road. They never really fare well against Auburn on the road. They don't fare well historically against Mississippi State on the road. But they're probably better than those two teams. You've also got a Tennessee team that who really knows what to expect out of Tennessee. That's also on the road. So if they don't lay any eggs on the road, you get your toughest competition at home. There's a chance to win that 11 games. And, of course, I'm not saying anything about Alabama. I mean, Byron Young looks fantastic so far. And I don't think it would be foolish to say that Ole Miss goes on the road and wins in Tuscaloosa. So that leaves 11 games kind of up to, we'll see what happens. You shrug your shoulders and kind of roll the ball out and go. If we get the same Matt Corral we've gotten all year, who knows that Ole Miss couldn't win all of them.
Brad, have you seen enough through 2 games, again, a Louisville team that's not that good and a FCS team in Austin Peay. Have you seen enough from the Ole Miss defense to declare they are that much improved from last year, or do you still need to see more, maybe the game against Tulane?
I think the number one thing, Greg, going into the season, I said all along, is I don't know if Ole Miss will be any better. I think they might be. But here's what we do know. We didn't know if they would be any good, but we do know that Jake Springer would be a brand-new cornerback for Ole Miss, a transfer out of Navy. We did know that Chance Campbell would be a brand-new linebacker, the transfer all-conference out of Maryland. We do know that Isaiah Eaton would be a transfer JUCO guy who was going to play immediately. And we did know that Otis Reese was going to get a full complement of games. That's 4 players that Ole Miss fans didn't get to see all together at all last year. So while we didn't know if they would be any good, we thought they might be. We knew those guys were going to be contributors. Well, they're on the field, and they were huge contributors from day one. Chance Campbell, and by the way, Sean Robinson, a linebacker, was a transfer out of SEMO, was a running back. He's all over the field. So they get him back this week. So you got 3 or 4 players, maybe 5 players that didn't do a whole lot last year. I think we know they're better. The question is how much better they are. Are they 100 in total defense? Are they number 60 in total defense? So they finished 40th in total defense. I think right now they're somewhere around 80-ish. So, if that's the answer, then yeah, they're majorly improved. But to answer your question directly, no, we have not seen enough because they haven't played the likes of Auburn, Arkansas, Tennessee, LSU. Once they play those teams, how much better are they? Are they going to allow Matt Corral to stay on the field a little bit longer? Are they going to allow to get some 3 and outs, something we didn't see? Against Louisville, it was funny. We were in the press box, and Ole Miss stopped Louisville early on 4th down and decided it's on territory. Everyone looked around and said, did Ole Miss just stop someone on 4th down? And so that's something we haven't seen in years. And so we knew at that moment that it was going to be a much better defense. The question is how much better? We just don't know.
Brad, how can folks catch your podcast?
Well, I appreciate that. It's LoganMediaNetwork.com, and that's where we have the Brad Logan Show. We're also excited about our Believe in Ole Miss podcast, part of the Believe Podcast Network. And as always, we can get all of that out on @BradLoganCOT on Twitter. And, gentlemen, it is always a pleasure to join one of my favorite shows in the country.
Brad, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Brad.
We appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
You too.
If you're not going to any of the games this weekend, want to just get out and watch all of the action, well, you know the place to do that. East Coast Wings and Grill, located just off Highway 64 between Lowe's and Walmart. You could go on in there. They've got TVs everywhere for you to watch all of the action. Great food, great drinks as well for you to choose from. As far as the wings go, 60 different flavors of wings and 7 different heat indexes. So you got all kinds of options there. Plus many other options on the menu outside of the wings, from the burgers to the flatbreads and many, many more. Other great sandwiches included. 24 different draft beers to choose from as well, including many of the local beers, plus anything else that you're looking to drink. They've got it for you at East Coast Wings and Grill. Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 6 is happy hour with 2-for-1 beers. You can take advantage of that this afternoon. Again, it's 3:30 to 6. Maybe you want to have food delivered or just go pick it up and bring it home to watch all the action. Well, you can do that as well. Go online and order at eastcoastwings.com. Very easy to then swing by and pick it up, or you can get it delivered via DoorDash. That's East Coast Wings and Grill. Again, just off Highway 64 between Lowe's and Walmart.
Of course, you can watch the NFL there, and the NFL is back. We're getting ready for Week 2, and FanDuel Sportsbook wants you to get the most out of every single play. That's why they're giving everyone a $10 risk-free bet every single week. All you have to do is bet a same-game parlay bet with 3 legs or more, and if your bet doesn't win, FanDuel will pay you back up to $10. Chiefs-Ravens, that's a game I've been talking about a lot this week. Love the Chiefs, -3.5. Love Travis Kelce to catch a touchdown. That's what I liked last week, and it came through. Also like Lamar Jackson to go over the rushing yards, the total they have. And if you want a 4th leg for this particular game, I also like Tyreek Hill to catch a touchdown in this game. But there's all different combinations you can make as far as the same-game parlay is concerned. Of course, fast payouts with FanDuel. It's easy to use, safe and secure. Some of the many reasons why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. There's no feeling like nailing a same-game parlay bet, so lock in your bet today on FanDuel Sportsbook and get up to $10 back if your bet doesn't win. If you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, also claim your 30-1 odds on either team to win in the Chiefs-Ravens game. Just sign up with promo code GASMAN. That's promo code GASMAN. Must be 21 or over. Present in Tennessee. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $10. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Same game parlay available for multiple sports in all states on mobile and web. Gambling problem? Call Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789. If you'd like to play 10 in a row, we're doing that next. Jump on the AutoZone phone lines at 360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. 10 in a row is next. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy take you home with Sports Time on Sports 56, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I thought we were done with this.
Say ya, Petey.
Don't call me Petey.
We're back, baby, doing Central Barbecue commercials.
This is very exciting.
Reminding everyone that there are 4 locations, all with that perfect Central Barbecue, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue.
You know, you don't really need me for these.
No, I want you for these. We're a team, you and me, telling the world about the best ribs in Memphis. Maybe the best ribs in the world, Central Barbecue ribs.
See, you didn't need me to do that, and don't call me...
Petey, Central Barbecue spots wouldn't be the same without you.
I think they would.
You know you love it, and there's no better barbecue than Central Barbecue.
A celebration with ZZ Top.
Take me downtown.
This Sunday, Orpheum Theater. Playing all their classic hits. ZZ Top. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com.
Whether you're driving for distance, pitching for precision, or putting to win it all, come to Edwin Watts Golf Shop to get custom fit for all your clubs throughout your bag. Hit a few balls and let our team show you the latest swing technology and data that will help optimize your game. Having each club tailored to become your gamers will help you start shooting lower scores. Let Edwin Watts Golf Shops help you make every shot the perfect one. Come in and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Hey, Jeff Allen, I hear that 3's a charm at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah, so I'm ready to trade up to a Kia sales event with you, my man.
That's right, Randy. 3 rides, all just $248 a month. Take your pick from a 2022 Kia Soul LX, 2021 Kia Forte LXS, or a 2021 Kia Rio LXS. Your choice, $248 a month.
And Soul, longer, better warranty than Honda or Nissan. Forte, more passenger volume and thousands less than Honda Civic. And Rio, higher MPG and thousands less than Corolla. Plus, you'll get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty program.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
All 72 months at 2.9 APR, $29.99 down. Sold in 716,174. MSRP $20,500. Forte ME $402,825. MSRP $20,055. Rio ME $427,894. MSRP $19,755. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF $695. Must finance through Kia on low APR. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
Guns and Ammo has a full line of Pro Shot products, a tremendous selection of accessories from belts, holsters, gun cases, specialty boxes, Benchmade knives, and assorted optics. At Guns and Ammo, enjoy selecting all your favorite firearms, from hunting supplies to target shooting to self-defense. Experience the excellence at Guns and Ammo with a friendly, knowledgeable staff and hundreds of guns to choose from. Guns and Ammo, 3615 Summer Avenue, Memphis local, and supporting the NRA and Friends of the NRA. Guns and Ammo, family owned since 1985.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
It's a cold wet December day. We touch the ground in JFK. Snow is melting on the ground. Yes, I heard the sound of an angel.
Welcome back, everybody. 12:30 the time. Final half hour for us today here on Sports 56 Middays. Why don't we give away some prizes? It's time for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
It's the game show that has swept the nation. It is 10 in a row. I'll give you the question in just a moment. But what are the prizes that our listeners are going after today, Eli?
We got this is a super-sized deluxe prize package.
Oh, I thought last week's was super-sized deluxe.
Got a $25 gift card to East Coast Wings.
Mm-hmm.
Got a $25 gift certificate to Sweetgrass in Cooper Young.
Okay.
Got 2 Malco movie passes and a foursome of golf at Miramichi.
Wow. 360-8255. AutoZone phone lines wide open right now. Here's the question. It's pretty simple. Schools with a football program. I will give you the name of a school. If they have a football program, it's yes. If not, it's no. You're not going to get Alabama. You're not going to get Ohio State. You're going to get tougher schools. But you're going to get all Division I schools.
Would UConn be considered yes or no?
It's debatable. That's a tough one. That's why I left them off.
His may be a possibility. Or theoretically.
Possibly.
Can you answer theoretically?
Theoretically, yes. We'll count that one. No, it's pretty simple. Schools with a football program. If they do, it's a yes. If not, it's a no. And that is an incredible prize package. So wake up the kids, 360-8255. Wide open phone lines right now. So, again, I won't wait around too long. We'll move on. We'll keep the prizes ourselves.
This isn't like an FBS football player. This is just they play football. You're saying they play football.
Yeah, these are Division I schools. Some are known more for basketball. They all have basketball programs, but some of them don't have a football program. Okay. I didn't go into NAIA. I didn't go into D2, D3. These are all Division I, okay? Because basketball has like 350 Division I schools, and a number of them do not play football. So you'll see a number of those type of schools on these two lists.
Again, you got a $25 gift card to East Coast Wings and Grill, $25 to Sweetgrass, 2 Malco movie passes, and a foursome at Miramichi. That's a pretty darn good price package. I guess that would probably be, what would that be? Probably
do the math here.
$200 and something worth of stuff.
Oh, yes.
All told, I don't know
Lines
what
are now
exact
packed.
greens fees are right now at Miramichi.
Right.
Arthur is first up. Hey, Arthur.
Arthur, how are you?
Hey. Oh, fine, guys. How's it going today?
Going well.
Good,
okay,
man.
so it's I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a pretty simple question. Schools with a football program. Belmont.
No.
Oral Roberts.
No.
Pepperdine.
Yes.
360-8255 is the number. Schools with a football program.
Next up is Edward. Hello, Edward.
Hi, Edward.
Hey.
And again, these are all Division I schools. DePaul.
Okay. Yes.
360-8255. Again, Division I, not to be confused with DePaul, DEPAUW, which is a Division III school. Next
up, we go to Charlie. Hey, Charlie.
Charlie.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. Schools with a football program, huge prize package, 2 open phone lines, 360-8255. Let's see if Charlie can win it, though. Belmont.
Yes.
360-8255. Schools with a football program. Do they have a football program? 360-8255. Next.
Again, $25 to East Coast Wings, $25 to Sweetgrass, 2 Malco movie passes, and a foursome out at Miramichi. Let's see if Don can win it. Hey, Don.
Don.
Let's roll.
DePaul.
No.
Georgetown.
No.
360-8255 is the number.
Next up is Buck. Hey, Buck.
Hello, Buck. Buck, you there?
Buck?
Does the buck stop here, Eli?
Buck off.
Apparently it does.
Mark, what's up?
Hi, Mark.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, man?
Not much. Schools with a football program. Do they have a football program? Belmont.
No.
Oral Roberts.
No.
Pepperdine.
Yes.
360-8255. Schools with a football program.
Next up is Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, Jim. DePaul.
No.
Georgetown.
No.
360-8255. Next.
Pepperdine and Georgetown seem to be causing some problems. Russ is next. Hey, Russ.
Yes.
Russ. Belmont.
No.
Oral Roberts.
No.
Pepperdine.
No.
Villanova.
Yes.
San Diego State.
Yes.
Creighton.
No.
Georgia State.
Yes.
Little Rock.
No.
LaSalle.
No.
Charlotte.
Yes.
Winner. Boom.
Russ, congratulations. Well done, sir. You got yourself a big prize package coming your way. Hold on. Gabe will let you know how you're going to get it. Thank you very much. Russ coming through. Big time win right there. All right, Philip and Jonathan are on hold. I will give each one of them a shot.
Okay.
Won't be the supersized
Won't be the deluxe
package, but we'll get them something if one of these guys wins.
Okay.
Hey, Philip.
Hi, Philip.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing well. All right, second chance opportunity. Schools with a football program. DePaul.
No.
Georgetown.
Yes.
San Jose State.
Yes.
Evansville.
No.
Gonzaga.
No.
Kent State.
Yes.
Marquette.
No.
Loyola Marymount.
No.
Pacific.
Yes.
Next, last chance is who?
Jonathan.
Boy, Jonathan, you got a great start here. Let's see how good your memory is. DePaul.
Yes.
Oh,
well,
Jonathan.
There you go. Not a very good memory.
Oh, no. We got all the way down to the 9th. Pacific is a, Eli?
Yes.
Come on. Pacific is a no. And then finally, Seton Hall.
No.
That is a no. That's 10 in a row. The game show that has swept the nation. That was fun. Especially fun for our winner, Don. Was it Don?
Or Russ.
Or Russ. He's also known as Don.
Russ
I think his close friends and family call him Don. But Russ is a winner with 10 in a row.
Yes, congratulations. And big prize package. Enjoy all of the goodies that you just won, Russ. Moving is can be a stressful time for folks. If you are in the process of moving or getting ready to move, you know that trying to do it yourself can be a real pain. Well, the folks at Black Tie Moving are there to help. Give them a call, 901-316-6196, or go to their website at blacktiemoving.com/Memphis. Sit down with them. They'll go over what you're looking for, what you need from them, come up with a plan that fits those needs, fits your budget as well. You get a no obligation quote up front as well to let you know exactly what it's going to cost before you're committed to anything. Whether it's across town or across country, they are there to get your belongings to the new place and do it very safely and make sure that everything is well taken care of. You'll have your own moving concierge available 24/7 to answer any questions that you have along the way. There is no better place. You will not find anybody better. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They've got 5-star ratings all over the place online. A lot of folks that I know have used Black Tie Moving, and they rave about Black Tie Moving. 901-316-6196 or blacktiemoving.com/Memphis.
So yesterday we did our pick 6, but that means a lot of games that we did not touch on. So we'll come back. We'll look at some of those other college football games coming up this weekend. When we return, we'd love to hear from you in our final segment. If you want to talk about any of the games, college, NFL, or anything that's on your mind, hit us up on the AutoZone text line at 360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world at sports56whbq.com or on the Sports 56 app.
Regions Bank presents Sheryl Crow live at the Garden Friday night, September 17th. General admission lawn tickets are on sale now. Show starts at 8 p.m. Get tickets online at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, go to liveatthegarden.com. Sheryl Crow live at the Garden, Friday night, September 17th at Radiance Amphitheater.
Are you ready to trade up to a Kia sales event and get our best deal of the year? Well, we gossip and gossip Kia on Covington Pike. So get ready and take your pick from 2022 Kia Soul, 2021 Kia Forte, and 2021 Kia Rio. We got them all at just $248 a month. Yeah, you heard me right, Mid-South. Soul, Forte, Rio, 3 is your charm and take your pick. Just $248 a month. Plus, with every new Gossip Kia, you'll find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So trade up and get top dollar at Gossip Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossip Motor Cars.
72 months at 2.9 APR, $29.99 down. Sold in 7/16/1784. MSRP $20,500. Forte ME 402,825. MSRP $20,055. Rio ME 427,894. MSRP $19,755. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF $695. Must finance through Kia on low APR. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
The moment you fire up a Gator UTV, the engine has your full attention. The completed job is on the horizon, and the trail meets its match. Just like that, you made short work of a long to-do list. Run with us on a John Deere Gator UTV. With effortless four-wheel drive at the flip of a switch and our smoothest shifting transmission yet. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
The bridge is open. Now it's really easy to take the 15-minute drive to Cypress View Golf and Recreation and enjoy the spectacular upgrades made to the clubhouse and golf course. The fairways are looking great and the greens are better than ever. No traffic, no excuses. If you're tired of paying greens and cart fees, Cypress View has a membership that includes unlimited golf, cart, range balls, and more. A family membership is just $199 per month plus tax. Members also have access to the Olympic-sized pool, fitness center, and tennis courts. The golf shop is stocked with FootJoy apparel, Titleist bags, and equipment. A huge selection of Puka headwear and more. Cypress View Grill has a wide selection of choices from burgers to brats, Phillies to quesadillas, flatbreads to oven-fired pizzas. You're covered from golf to goods to grub. And now Cypress View has a beer license, so grab a cold one in the grill. See why Cypress View Golf and Recreation is one of the fastest growing clubs in the Mid-South. Call 870-739-6305 or visit online cypressviewgolf.com.
There's now a faster and easier way to pick up your Corky's Barbecue. Order and pay online, pull into the designated spot, text Corky's to 474747, and we'll bring your order right to your car. No waiting.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. So the LA Clippers, Steve Ballmer, of course, the very rich owner, they have broken ground on a new arena, which will be called the Intuit Dome. That's their sponsor, the Intuit Dome. It's scheduled to open for the 2024-25 season, which will give the Clippers their own identity, get them out from under the Lakers and the Staples Center. And this arena is going to cost upwards of $2 billion. $2 billion. They have everything is in this new arena. Now, I was wondering, where in Los Angeles is this? And I thought, the Coliseum, the old Coliseum, is still up. And then I read this story about Ballmer. First of all, he's worth $184.5 billion. $184.5 billion. He purchased the old
Doesn't get you what it used to, though.
And with inflation and everything. He purchased the old Coliseum from, or the Forum, right, in Inglewood, where the Lakers used to play, the Showtime Lakers. He bought it from Knicks owner James Dolan. His Madison Square Garden company happened to own that arena too. He bought it for $400 million in cash, which is chump change to him. $400 million in cash, because there was a lawsuit about the new arena being built near a music venue. So evidently they still use the Forum. I had no idea that they did. So this has to be near the Forum, and it's going to cost upwards to $2 billion, or maybe more. That it's just funny money. He also obviously signed Kawhi Leonard in the offseason, $176.3 million. Could you imagine having this type of coin? Yeah, here's $400 million in cash. Let me buy the old Forum because I don't want to deal with lawsuits. And then I'm going to break ground now in this new arena, and that's $2 billion. And then, I got player payroll. Let me get Kawhi Leonard back in the fold for $176 million. But the Clippers are going to have their own identity and yet another arena in the Los Angeles area.
If he wants to buy another nice arena, I've got one here in Memphis for sale. He can get it for a lot cheaper.
How much money?
It won't cost $400 million cash to get that bad boy. He can have it. He can have it for a lot cheaper. Not $400 cash. We'll take it.
And a six-pack. $400 cash. All right, let's take a look at some of these college football games that are set for either tonight or tomorrow that we did not talk about yesterday or pick in the Pick 6. There's two interesting games tonight. UCF plays Louisville, and UCF is a 7-point favorite on the road. Louisville did not look good whatsoever against Ole Miss. I didn't expect them to look good because I don't think they're that good. UCF and the Gus Bus driving into Louisville tonight.
Yeah, I was just talking to Gabe during the break about some games, and this one looks easy. Almost looks too easy. I just don't think Louisville is any good. I just don't think their quarterback can throw the ball. I feel like I know it's at Louisville. That's the only kind of somewhat scary thing. But to me, UCF should cover that game with ease.
See, that's what I'm thinking as well. Are you sold on UCF?
I'm not completely sold on them, but I mean they've got a really good quarterback, which is nice. They've got some weapons, and I just it's more of a I don't believe it at all in Louisville. I just don't think Louisville.
I'm with you.
Offensively, I just don't see it.
Not sure if this changes anything, but now it's 7 in the hook, 7.5. It's grown from 6.5 to 7.5, which changes a little bit.
It depends on the book you're looking at.
You just buy that half point back down.
Yeah, FanDuel 7.5, BetMGM 7, Caesar 7, DraftKings 7. So it's a lot of books to look at. So look for the line, get the best line for you if you're interested in that game. The other one is my Terps in Illinois. Illinois, after looking good that first game over Nebraska, have gotten beaten up the last 2 weeks. Look, I'm not a believer in Mike Loxley, but he's a great recruiter, so he has talent. And Little Tagovailoa has been really, really good. I think Maryland wins and covers that one. I don't know if I'm not going to parlay UCF and Maryland tonight.
Yeah, Illinois, man, I just don't. I don't know if Nebraska is just that bad or what, but man, that after that Week 1 performance, it has not gone well for Brett Bielema, and to have lost the quarterback in the middle of that game and still been able to win it was what crazy to me. So it would appear as though Maryland's definitely the better team there, and Illinois is still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, by the way, that says more about Nebraska, I think, than it does Illinois. Here's a game I almost put on our Pick 6. Interesting matchup between a revitalized Michigan State team and head coach Mel Tucker and a Miami team, which was ranked to start the season. Miami's playing at home. Michigan State's getting 6.5.
Yeah, I don't have a feel at all on really either one of these teams. I don't know what Miami – I'm not going to judge Miami by getting blown out by Alabama because, well, that's what people do. So I don't know for sure exactly what they are, and I have no clue what Michigan State is.
They look good early in their first game, but, yeah, it's really a tough game to play. But after the game, I think we'll get a better idea of where both these teams stand. Another one that I think is interesting is Virginia Tech and West Virginia. Justin Fuente's team off to a great start. West Virginia lost 30-24 to Maryland in their opener, but they're playing in Morgantown, and West Virginia is a 2.5-point favorite.
I like Virginia Tech. I like the Fighting Fuentes.
Do you?
Going in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how good West Virginia is. But West Virginia at home, usually a tough place for a tough environment for the visiting team to go in and win. But that one, again, is one that I think it's too tough to kind of come to a conclusion. We mentioned the big drum, the old big drum. It's not going to be there, at least not right now. Maybe they'll change their mind. But Notre Dame is a 7-point favorite over Purdue. How peeved is Purdue going to be that they don't have their big drum? Will it make a difference?
I don't think the drum will make any difference.
I'm kidding.
But I think, I mean, with what we've seen out of Notre Dame so far, it's tough to have much confidence in them. I mean, you barely beat a Florida State team that turns around and loses to Jacksonville State. Barely got past, was it Toledo last week? Was it Toledo?
It was
Toledo.
Holy Toledo, yeah.
So I can't be, for me to be giving a touchdown right now for Notre Dame, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Mike Norvell and the boys at Florida State getting 4.5 at Wake Forest.
Goodness, for his sake, I hope they could go get a win against Wake Forest. I think there's some reports out that you'll see some of the stuff that kind of the locker room's lost all this. I have a feeling that he's going to find a way to get those guys to rally, and I think they're gonna win the game.
Well, even though they're the dog, they better win for his sake and for the sake of that program. They better win at Wake Forest. Gabe shaking his head no.
No. I'm not saying that they won't win. I'm saying
okay.
if he does lose it, I don't know what game on that ACC schedule that he's really capable of winning.
Right.
And I'm also shaking my head at the fact that Florida is a 4.5-point dog to Wake Forest.
Florida State. Yeah.
I mean Florida State. Sorry.
Yeah, that
in itself
my whole
is
point.
wild.
Yeah, I'm not so sure they're going to win. I'm just saying, wow, that never happens in their history. Florida State being a dog to Wake Forest. I don't care where they play.
Here's what I wonder: if that last play last week doesn't happen, like if Jacksonville State doesn't get this crazy touchdown, what would be the line on this game this week between Wake and Florida State? I wonder. So to me, there's some there's got to be some value there with Florida State. They're not nearly as bad as that performance last week.
One more. Is there value with SMU minus 11 at Louisiana Tech? I know Tech almost beat Mississippi State, but SMU can score. That coach, man, I like him. They're getting 11 points. Nothing to the peanut gallery on that one?
I don't have a good feeling. I don't have a strong feeling either way on that.
Mordecai's been good for SMU, but I don't know. I'm not there yet. I haven't gotten to really see.
I
them
like
play
Sonny
yet.
Dykes.
I don't trust SMU enough to be giving 11, and I certainly don't. I don't trust Louisiana Tech enough to trust them to cover 11. So I don't know. That one. That first 3 quarters against Mississippi State was pretty darn good.
I hear you. Before we get to one final thing, I saw you retweet this, Gabe. A player has decommitted from the University of Memphis. Thanks, Ryan Silverfield, Coach Brad Salem as well. Salem for an amazing recruiting process, unforgettable relationships. Andrew Lane, a 3-star tight end from Georgia, decommitting from the University of Memphis.
New Life Medical Center is located at 9160 Highway 64, open 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to 1 on Saturday, where you could go by and see them for primary and urgent care of whatever it is that ails you, plus COVID testing and many other things. And, of course, as we get into flu season, they'll have flu shots available. They're trying to keep people healthy and taking care of you. For the COVID test, you do need to make an appointment. They do those by appointment only now. You can give them a call at 901-213-0100, 901-213-0100. And go get that, schedule a test to go by and see them. They do the rapid test. They do the other testing. You can also get the antibodies test to see if you've got the antibodies in your system as well. It's all at New Life Medical Center. Again, 9160 Highway 64, 213-0100, the phone number, or you can check them out online at newlifemedcenters.com. Time now for one final thing.
Before Greg and Eli get out of here for the day, they each have one final thing they think you should know to make it through the rest of your day. So here are Greg and Eli with one final thing.
Well, there was a story I was going to read about the Miami player that was killed years ago, and now they finally have their suspect. And after all these years, just a crazy story. It's taking this long. But instead, I just want a quick shout out to, again, Tigers fans tomorrow, the importance of the game against Mississippi State, but also to honor Isaac Bruce, who will be there tomorrow, rain or shine. So, again, I'm not going to tell you what you need to do with your life to go out there and watch a football game in the rain. But Isaac Bruce will be tomorrow recognized for being the first and only former Memphis Tiger player to make it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's going to sign autographs. He's going to take pictures. He's a great friend of our show. And, again, I think he would appreciate everybody who could possibly be there to honor him and to watch his Tigers hopefully beat Mississippi State.
So on Monday, you guys were talking about the Evander Holyfield fight from over the weekend.
Right.
And the pay-per-view. Well, apparently it generated 150,000 pay-per-view buys, which is...
What does it equate to?
Which is startling to me.
What does that equate to money-wise? Does it say?
$7.5 million.
Woo!
It's a massive money loser for Triller in this. But how many people did they think were going to buy this? I just don't even understand. Like, how many people could they have possibly thought were going to buy this? To me, 150,000 is way more than I would have imagined buying this crap.
I thought that was a lot when you said that number. I thought that was way more than I would have ever thought.
The story, they compared it to the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., which got 1.6 million buys. It's not even close. Like, those two things in interest aren't close.
Right.
Mike Tyson... he's Mike Tyson, first of all, and Roy Jones Jr. is a big name, but there's the people want to watch Mike Tyson. Nobody wants to watch Evander Holyfield fight anymore.
Not at 62.
They didn't want to watch Evander Holyfield fight 10, 15 years ago. Like, how did the fact that 150,000
15 years ago he was 47
is a massive money loser? They would end up with a bad idea. There's just no way. Donald Trump calling a fight is not going to make millions of people want to watch Evander Holyfield fight.
Yes, plus the way they can pirate things anymore, people. I mean, who knows how many people watch the darn thing just for curiosity's sake and didn't pay for it. That's a possibility as well. We want to thank John Varlas, Teresa Walker, Brad Logan for joining us on the program today. We want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the show, your calls, your texts. We always appreciate it. Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio is coming up next, so stay tuned for that. For Eli Savoy and Gabe Kuhn, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday.
And we're all gonna miss it a lot. All the whiskey in Lynchburg, Tennessee just couldn't hit the spot. Got $100 bill, you can keep your pills, friend. It's all going to pot.
Hey everybody, new Tahoes and Silverados are finally in transit to All-Star Chevrolet, and you can reserve yours today. I'm out here in Olive Branch looking at all these certified pre-owned Silverados, and they got a lot. And if you have a car or truck you want to sell, All-Star Chevy is the place to bring your title and get a check today. So find new roads to All-Star Chevy with the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Remember, it's not Collierville, not South Haven, not the Pike or Mount Moriah. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. So go to All-Star Chevrolet or allstarautogroup.com.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that